things to do in the summer, like shuttering blinds. So many things to do in the summer, like never go outside. It's always bright out there in the summer. I'm cutting off all ties. Don't ever open up in the summer. You'll let inside the flies. Summer of fun, hide in the basement. Air filter's done, get a replacement. Summer of fun, living in my prime. Hide from the sun, having a good time. Summer, 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 summer. 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 So many things to do in the summer, like barricade the door. So many things to do in the summer, don't pay taxes no more. So many things to do in the summer, arrested for your crimes. So many things to do in the summer, like doing some hard time. Summer of fun, you're in a pickle. Summer of fun, doing a nickel. Summer of fun, learning a cope. And summer of fun, dropping a sofa. Summer of fun, dyeing your bed sheets. Summer of fun, pulling in Epstein. Summer of fun, making toilet wine. Summer of fun, having a good time. Summer, 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 summer. Summer, 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 summer. Summer, 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 summer. Summer, 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 summer.
My dad could beat up your dad. Let's have a laugh.
In a world of remakes and remasters,
Are we playing your team?
what was once sacred and cool has now soured and become lame.
Radical.
Gone are the days of pods and cowabunga. Now is the reign of slurp juice and dabs. Kids these days don't even know how bad they've got it. Now it's up to the best generation to rise to the occasion and make a show that dares to go where a lot of other nerdy shows have already gone quite a bit. That's right. They're going to talk about it a lot.
My dad could beat up your dad.
Hello and welcome to the show, everyone. It's Sunday night, and you know what that means. It's Best Gen, where nerds complain about nerdy things. It's called Best Gen because we're all roughly from the same gen, and we happen to think that it's the best. Not because we're better than you, but because our movies were. So strap on in and prepare to wax nostalgia as we reminisce upon the days of yore whilst complaining about dumb movies like The Little Mermaid. How's it going, everybody?
Good.
We're joined by Jacob Ironside, longtime viewer of the channel.
He's
also
escaped
got his
the chat.
Well, he's got his own YouTube channel, and I keep forgetting to invite him on the show. I keep saying, "Oh, we need to bring Jacob on," and then I never do it because I'm busy. We're excited to have you.
Yep.
Jake,
Good to be here. Thanks for
Jacob's channel
inviting.
Jacob's channel is linked in the chat. He's got some videos, some nice discussions on there. I've watched a lot of them. And we're joined by the usual David and Jared and the Angry Mexa. We've got their respective channels, which I've plugged a lot. You guys, it's in the description if you want to know more. Scroll on down to the description. And
someday, maybe eventually, I'll actually start my own channel.
I won't plug it. I won't plug it.
Yes, and I was about to finally end my hiatus from videos and uploading a video today, but got too long and couldn't finish editing. So wait for it tomorrow. It's coming out tomorrow.
Well, that music video you guys witnessed, I thought was going to be a lot quicker to edit, and then I started experimenting, and it took me all week. So, and I haven't even added lyrics to it yet. So, I don't know. I might just release it like that. I think it's pretty good. So,
yeah, it spirals out of control pretty fast. I like it.
Yeah, like I said, it sounds like a Mexican summer, a pretty average Mexican summer in Cihuatanejo.
I just think summer songs are funny because they're all exactly the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh, we got Pips from the White Cloaks watched an entire ad just to leave a comment and leave.
A real
Thanks-
one.
thanks
That's
for
a
showing
real
up.
one.
It
Thanks
will
for
be a
dropping.
good stream. Hope you enjoyed that little music video. Yeah, that one's dropping tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, how's everybody doing? I had a pretty good week.
That makes one of us.
doing
Oh yeah,
Yeah, as you can probably tell, I'm not in my normal spot. I usually stream from my home office because I work from home, and I was laid off this week, so it's been fun.
Bummer.
But on the bright side, I might find some more time to finally finish editing the YouTube video and post that.
yeah. Maybe with the spare time, he'll become a full-time YouTuber like his little brother. He's always followed in my footsteps. We've mentioned this profusely on the channel. I did everything first, so
Everything
Yeah,
ever.
lost your job. Yeah.
I quit. Okay, I quit of my own volition because I was getting ripped off. But yeah,
That gotta suck, man. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep your head up, like I always say, even though the times are a little bit harsh. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
he might could blame me because I was out there just the week before, and he
Yep.
took the week off hanging out with me, and then suddenly he gets back
That's
to work. and
probably
somebody
what
else-
it is. I took a whole week off, and my first day back from vacation is like, nope, we work better without you here. So
They just wanted you to have a longer vacation. They're just looking
Yeah.
out for you, David. So
There you
I don't
go.
know why
There
you
you go.
keep such a glass half empty all the time.
Of course, I was out there, and his kids decided to get me sick, so there was also that. We're kind of back and forth on it.
yeah, that was a stressful vacation.
That's why I'm so hot.
We still had
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, we
The
did.
gain got
Yep.
turned up. Okay, I was like,
How you been, Mixa?
Well, not that good to be honest. Yeah.
No.
I'm also struggling, but I mean, I enjoy watching the movies, and I'm going to enjoy this podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing. The week's been super crazy, so I hadn't had a chance to do my homework either. So I apologize again.
You probably already know one of those movies, like the Three Amigos one.
Yes, I
Yeah.
had previously watched The Three Amigos many, many times. So
It's been a while since I've seen it, but I've definitely seen that one as
Oh,
well.
you got that one at
Yeah,
least.
that's a fun one.
well, we try to be of service here at Best Gen, and if you can't afford therapy, just watch us. It's all good.
Yep.
So that's what the Angry Mexa does. It's his therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, David is looking kind of ominous. It's the contrast too. It's the bright white shirt and then just the vast
Yep.
nothingness behind.
I'm just floating in a sea of darkness.
Yeah, so we've got 3 movies to discuss this week. But first, I wanted. Oops, there's a little smudge. I wanted to announce what I'm going to force you guys to watch next week. Right at the beginning, okay? I'm so excited. I've talked about this man before on the show, and I haven't like pushed it hard because his movies are notoriously hard to find streaming. But I checked, and you can get all three of them streaming in different places. Two of them for free, and his newest movie is rentable for like $6. Okay, I'm forcing everyone to watch Matthew Johnson. One of
What?
my
Who now?
Matt Johnson.
Oh, Matt Johnson.
One
Oh.
of the I think one of the up and coming. Just like I think he's going to be one of the greatest directors of all time. His first film is called The Dirties, and then he made a film called Operation Avalanche, and his newest movie is called Blackberry. And that one just came out and did not get a wide release. I wanted to see it in theaters, and there's like one theater in Utah that's showing it, but you can rent it for $7. So I'm probably gonna buy it because I like
are these
this guy's
comedies?
style. They are dark comedies, so it's like Matthew Johnson is a guerrilla filmmaker, if that makes sense. He's completely independent. He makes his movies for zero money, and how he does it is he asks for forgiveness instead of permission. The first movie, The Dirties, is I try to dance around the algorithm. It is a movie about things that go really fast at schools that aren't fun to be touched by.
Oh.
It is a character study on the type of person that would do that, and like what goes into making that decision to do something that bad. And it's a comedy the whole time. The premise is it's two friends who are amateur filmmakers. They just like record random stuff and they make movies together, and they're horrible, right? And they're constantly bullied, and so they come up with the idea of making a movie about that subject, and one of them realizes that the other guy's kind of serious about like wanting to do it for real and just record it. Super freaking good movie. It's hilarious. The dialogue is incredible, and it's very dark but also very funny. And I think it's a very important movie. Like the message is really good. And how he filmed it is he pretended to be a high school student to use the high school's film equipment. Paid the high school students to act in the movie, and told everyone about it afterwards. But it's good. It's really good. It's an amazing movie. And then his second film, Operation Avalanche, has a bit more production value. Like the first one is really like this is an independent film, right? And he got more money for the second movie, which is about faking the moon landing. And so he lied to NASA to make it. He called them up and told them he was making a documentary about the moon landing and that he wanted to interview their current employees about the events of that day. And because it would be cool, it would be fun if they did the interviews in time in costumes appropriate for the time period. And it turns out he's acting the entire time, so he does these interviews in character, and it's so brilliant. This man is a genius. And then it's really great. It's about two like FBI people who are in charge of doing the faking and getting away with it. It's wonderful. It's really good. And they even used that movie to film his TV show, which I would love to go over on the show, but it's impossible to stream outside of Canada. Like the only way to get at his is illegally here. So, but it's called Nirvana, the band, the show, and it's about him and his friend trying to become famous and get a gig at the Rivoli, or and they will do anything necessary to get that gig, except actually, write music and become musicians. And so one of their schemes is, hey, let's make a movie and send it to Sundance, and we'll get famous that way. And so Matthew Johnson in real life used the release of Operation Avalanche, premiering at Sundance, to film an episode of his TV show where they make a crappy Sundance movie called Operation Avalanche. And so they went to Sundance in real life and interviewed everyone in character for their TV show and used that footage for their TV show. Like, this man is a genius, and now he's got like real money behind him making BlackBerry, which is about the story of the BlackBerry phone, and it's got freaking Glenn Howerton. It's got Glenn Howerton in it, and
nice.
Carrie Ewells. I don't know how to say his last name. The guy, the Princess Bride guy.
I think it's Elvis.
Elvis. Okay.
Yeah.
It's also got that funny YouTuber, the Sungwon Cho, the anime guy, the guy that makes fun of anime all the time. The big chubby Asian guy who's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Um,
That's nice to see. At least a funny Asian person being utilized, not like Aquafina in The Little Mermaid.
so I'm super excited to watch BlackBerry, and that's what I want to talk about next week. But also, if you have time, watch The Dirties and Operation Avalanche. Because they're real good. The Dirties.
And which is the one that you're saying we should watch?
Well, the new one is one I'm interested in watching. Is BlackBerry.
It's BlackBerry.
But,
Okay, that's right.
So I posted all of them in the chat there, but the Dirties and Operation Avalanche and BlackBerry are the ones
So
that.
Operation Avalanche is currently free on YouTube with ads. You can watch it on YouTube right now. So if you have to pick one of them, watch Operation Avalanche. It's the better film. And if you have time, The Dirties is also on Amazon. Such a cool movie. The Dirties is very dark. So like, if you like, maybe don't watch that one if you're not up for it.
Yeah, sounds pretty heavy.
It's really, really good though. But let's talk about some funny Mexican films, because that's what we're here to talk about today. Just wanted to make sure everyone was aware of what was on the slate for next week, because I'm so excited. I wanted to go see this movie in theaters. I wanted to go, but I'll still pay money to see it. Hopefully, I just want to support this guy because I want him to keep making films forever, because he's great.
Yeah, I think either I saw the trailer for BlackBerry in a movie theater in Mexico, or I saw it on YouTube, and probably YouTube, like in an ad.
It did not get a wide release. I'm upset.
But I did saw it in an ad, and it looked interesting.
He also acts in the movie, so he's directing and writing and composing, or his friend composes, and acting. He does everything. He's good, and he's funny. So, anyway, what movie do you guys want to talk about first? Want to talk about the Tres Amigos, or do you want to talk about Get the Gringo, or do you want to talk about Casa de Mi Padre?
I would say that we should rank them and start with the best or the worst. You can choose. I mean, but yeah, we should rank them like real quick.
Well, I guess. Well, two of them are comedies, and one of them is like a action comedy. So they're different. They're different.
But
there's a couple of us I know
the three of them are funny.
Amigos,
the three of them are funny, in my opinion. Like, obviously, there are different genres, but they can be compared.
In my opinion, Three Amigos is a 10 out of 10. Casa de Mi Padre is an 8 out of 10. Get the Gringo's a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, my opinion is more that the Three Amigos is the humor is really good, but it's a little bit boring in my opinion. So it's more like an 8 out of 10. Get the Gringo is better than well, not better, not a better movie. By the way, not a better movie, not at all. Like this is not about the better movie. Obviously, Three Amigos is the way better movie, but this is about the more
Yeah.
entertaining movie. And the more entertaining movie is well, the second one is Atrapen a Gringo or Get the Gringo, and the third one, the first one, in my opinion, is Casa de Mi Padre. That's a brilliant movie.
It's great.
I mean, if you're Mexican, that movie speaks to you. Like I cannot put it in other way. It's just so great. I can talk
It-
about it.
Oh yeah,
No.
no, well the way that
Mhm.
it critiques the telenovela genre as a
Mhm.
whole is just absolutely stunning.
Mhm.
Um,
More than
we got-
critiquing is a homage, in my opinion.
yeah,
No,
it's,
not that much a critique. It's a satire.
it's a satire. It's
Yeah.
a telenovela satire.
Mhm.
We got a super chat from Mark or $5. Not Mexican, but the soundtrack to Transformers the movie from 1985 is the most perfect soundtrack ever. Oh man, I've seen that movie once when I was a kid. I remember loving it, but I never owned it, so I don't know what the music sounds like. I would have to go back and watch it.
I didn't even remember there was a movie. Well, I mean, I was not born, but I remember the show though. That show was cool.
Oh yeah, Transformers rocks, man.
It used to.
Oh yeah, I meant when I say that, I mean like the cartoons. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's now
Yeah,
a LGBT, no what transformer.
Let's talk about Three Amigos first because David's actually watched that.
Yep,
And then,
that's
And I'm guilty of also
Oh,
only
look at this
having watched that one.
I
that
will
was
catch
good.
up with them though because they did look intriguing.
they're so good, David. They're so good. If you're talking like authenticity, Get the Gringo is like a
10
slice
out
of-
of 10.
It's like that's Mexico.
Yeah, that's
It's like-
literally like he stayed in a prison with actual prisoners.
But the prison looks like a lot of the places where people just live in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also a real prison, so
Yeah, it's
I
also
mean,
a real
it doesn't always look like that in
Look,
all
I've been-
Mexico, but it's
There are
it's
nice.
that-
There are obviously nice parts. Yeah,
yeah,
there
it's
are-
that but with nicer,
there are nice parts in Mexico, but
Infrastructure.
I've also been to an entire village built out of cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
So
Me too.
yeah, it's there's some real poverty in Mexico, and it looks just the way that when you see scenes in the prison, it's like
That's the way it is.
it-
Yeah, in
home,
those poor
like I'm
places.
back. I'm back in
Mhm.
Guadalajara. I'm like.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, Three Amigos is a much more optimistic look on Mexico. It's the Hollywoodized version of Mexico only exists as tiny little houses in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Vast expanses of desert between the tiny little houses, and every town has a church that can get burnt down.
Yeah.
It looks way more like New Mexico than
Yeah,
Mexico.
most likely filmed in New Mexico or
Yeah.
Texas.
You're saying that there was
Yeah.
there's a plethora of churches there? Is that what you're
plethora?
getting at?
No, I'm saying there's one church in every town, and it always
Yeah,
has
every
been
Now
town.
that
let's
way.
make sure
That's the
everybody knows
opposite.
what
I would
plethora
hate
is.
to think that Bearded would use the word plethora and not know what a plethora is.
I mean, who would do that?
I would do that because I'm Mexican, but I'm allowed to. But no, actually, there are like 2 or 3 churches by for town, or more. Depends on the town.
Oh,
In
that's
my
right.
town-
The plethora of churches is where I was at for my mission in Oklahoma and Arkansas.
In my town, there's a church for every day of the year. It's 365 churches. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And there's a
I
crazy
live
day in the
where I
month
live in
where
Texas.
there's like where people go from church to church, like trying to do the whole you know
Pilgrimage or something.
the whole yeah, but
Yeah.
they take like a whole week is during that week, the Holy Week, or I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
where
was
I live
Jacob
in
trying to
Texas,
say?
there's
Yeah.
where I live in Texas, there's Spanish missions, old Spanish missions nearby.
Yeah.
Like before, when Spain was still in control of Mexico.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's called the
Crazy.
Alamo.
That's one of them.
We all know. We all
We
remember.
remember.
Okay?
I mean, I don't know, dude. So I appreciate the intel. I don't know anything about geography there in the United States. I don't even know where West Utah is. I know it's in the West, but there's a West Utah. Wait, where?
No.
There's West Utah. Am I just making it up? Right?
No, it's just Utah. No, I was just
There's
making
a
a joke.
western part of Utah.
I was making a joke. The Alamo is a famous
I got
battle,
that right.
a battle in the Mexican American War
Yeah.
that the Texans
Yeah.
lost, but it's remembered because they killed a lot of Mexicans before
Wait, the
they
Texans
lost.
though?
Yeah, Mexico beat Texas, man.
That's BS. I don't think
It was
that ever
one battle. It wasn't the
happened.
war.
I don't think that. Oh, okay,
Santa
okay,
Ana.
one battle. Yeah.
I don't know.
because
Maybe
that
Jacob
sounds-
could tell us more, but yeah, it's Davy Crockett, the famous Davy Crockett, and they
There were
held
actually,
up. They-
actually two massacres at the
there were two.
Mexican or
I didn't know
under
that.
Santa Ana that he had people massacred.
Yeah.
All we know about Santa Ana in Mexico is that he got caught with her pants dropped while he was getting
Yeah.
yeah, getting some business.
Well, anyway, moving along quickly from that. The Alamo was famous because they lasted for like 5 days or it was a long time, a lot longer than they were supposed to, because it was like 50 people versus 500 Mexicans. So we memorialize it because we're glad we killed so many of them before we went down. And so
If you
we
haven't, you probably
remember the
would
Alamo.
speak Spanish right now. You will be North Mexico.
Right.
North.
Mexico Norte.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Three Amigos though is absolutely hilarious.
Mhm.
First off, just the powerhouse of comedy
Yeah.
in the main characters alone is it's just
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Steve Martin and Martin Short are so amazing together.
Yeah, they're like male divas. Like literally, they can do everything. They sing, they dance, they do musicals, they act good, they are funny, they do physical comedy. They do word comedy. They do everything. Literally, they play
Mhm.
instruments well.
And
Chevy
Chevy is
Chase-
also rather entertaining sometimes.
Genius.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Steve
he's a
Martin
genius. He's
actually
genius.
did the Steve
Who?
Martin actually did the lasso tricks.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
He did.
Oh yeah, true. And those are the basic one where you do the lasso that's not that hard, but and the
Still.
one where you do and you jump, that's also not that hard. But it takes some like at least a month or two of practicing that thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's
What's
still a lot
crazy-
of Mexico.
What I like about this movie is it's one of the few movies where like Chevy Chase is playing the straight man.
Hmm.
Like you get a little bit of it in like the vacation movies, but he's often being like the silly guy too. Like it's the vacation movies is he's the butt of the joke and everything goes wrong for him, right? So he's
Yeah.
kind of the straight man, but he's
Right.
also he gets to do his overacting,
Mhm.
reacting to all the negativity that's coming his way, right?
Mhm.
But in this movie, like you have Steve Martin and Martin Short that are just ridiculous the entire time, and
Yep.
Chevy Chase.
He plays
is-
like a suave ladies man.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
but it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was also like the innocent, like smart kind of guy. Like he was the almost like the leader of in some way, but the three of them had like the same dynamic in my opinion, and it was just great. They are geniuses of comedy, and I don't know how they managed to pull them in a movie with a ridiculous premise. It's
Yeah.
such a ridiculous premise.
You always have to have a straight man in comedy, right? You have to have
Mm.
someone doing a bizarre
Right.
thing, and you have to have someone reacting to the bizarre thing
Mhm.
as a normal human would react
Yeah,
to expose the oddity.
yeah.
Mm.
Or he has to
And
be
that's the straight man role.
the
So,
initiator of the of the hilarity, or of
but
the absurdity.
it's crazy, to take the comedian and make him, do the straight man, but he pulls it off so well, and it's the timing, right? So you've got like ridiculous things happening, and then you have him dump an entire water bottle all over his face. You know?
Yeah,
Like, oh,
yeah.
wait, you guys, oh, you wanted a chapstick? Is that what you guys needed? Right? No, like it's the timing, right? Like, so he like doesn't have a whole
Yeah.
lot of like presence in the movie, but it's
What he does is
it's
golden.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's timed well, and
I like when he's
executed
when
well.
he's eating the tortilla and beans, and he's like, "Do you have anything besides Mexican food?"
Yep.
Yeah, when the taco fell
Oh.
down, I was like, dude, you don't know grab a taco like that, bro. You gotta bury your taco holding technique, brother. Yeah.
Do you have anything besides Mexican food? It is a great line. It's like the
But again,
unintentionally like racist as heck, like
but he plays it straight. He's like he's
Yeah.
serious about it.
Serious,
So funny.
exactly. That's why it's so funny.
It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, in America, you go to the Mexican place, you go to the Chinese place, you go whatever food you want, you go and get.
Yeah.
I mean,
And half of those you can also just get a regular old burger. There's a place here near where I live that it's a falafel corner, so it's got all these really good falafel and some gyros and stuff like that, and there's burgers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Mexico, we eat a lot of burgers, and you won't miss a single town in Mexico without a Domino's. I freaking dare you to find. Well, there's towns where they don't have electricity or
Right.
water,
I
running
was
water.
gonna say that cardboard town that Alan was talking about earlier.
Yeah, probably they don't have Domino's.
Although then again, they might.
They have
That's
Domino's.
probably where Domino's is at, and that's why they've got all that.
Yeah, I mean they do have Domino cartons, homes. Like they build a home out of Domino and pizza boxes. No kidding. I've seen it.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, no, it's wild because people, in my town, people eat a lot of Domino's, so a lot of the trash is sometimes Domino's boxes. So people, because they're pretty durable.
Yeah.
Cardboard does well for that
Mhm.
as a cheap material. Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
some
Not
of
just
the
the three main casts, but the El Guapo
Oh.
and Jefe are pretty good too.
El Guapo,
Guapo
Jefe.
is amazing.
Such a
Pretty-
funny name for a
I know
villain.
it's
Yep.
perfect.
Yeah, right.
Handsome. Yeah.
He's ugly as heck. He's intimidating. Is the less intimidating name? Like he's like the handsome. If
Mhm.
calling someone the handsome.
Yeah.
I also like how
Can't
the
say
villain
he's the
is.
second in command.
I like how the
The-
villain
the
is
scene-
played too. He's not like the over. I'm just gonna kill a bunch of my underlings because I'm mad. No, when he kills his underlings, it's because he's testing the gun, right? He's like, hold out
Yeah,
your
right.
hat, right? And then shoots him, and you don't know, like he plays it so like nonchalant that you don't know if he's just a bad shot or if he was just tricking the guy to hold up his hat so he
Yeah,
could shoot
right.
the guy.
Oh,
And
yes.
it's very good.
Yeah.
He's part of the funniest scene, in my opinion, is where they are doing the whole show in front of the they are like, "Oh, we didn't rehearse. We had to do it at once, right?" And then he walks up to them and he's
No,
like,
we need banter, banter, banter.
"Yeah,
Tell us
yeah,
we'll
yeah."
die like dogs, okay?
Yeah, right.
That whole scene is so funny. And when he goes to the end where he realizes he got shot, and
Yeah.
then he's like, wait a minute, blood.
You're in
You're
real trouble,
trouble,
mister.
buddy.
I'm keeping this.
And then he
Real bullets.
and then he touches the bullets in his vest, and he's like, "Oh my god, he's full of real bullets."
Yeah, El Guapo
Guys,
too.
you see, then they start crying.
I like these guys.
They are funny
They're
guys.
funny guys. Just kill one of them.
Oh man, they really want to kill us.
The scene where they start crying, like
Their
they're
faces.
going
Oh
to
my
kill
God.
us.
So great, so genius.
Yeah.
And that
But
scene probably
how-
took them a lot of shots to get perfect. Like
Mhm.
it seems like a hard thing to
How
kind
good?
of
How good
Yeah.
is the insult "son of a motherless goat"?
Son of a motherless.
It's pretty good.
It
He called me a
makes-
son of a mother. Let's go.
It's physically impossible, and yet like so great.
It
Yeah.
can be if it's a clone. They clone
There
goats.
you go.
They do clone goats.
True.
Yeah.
That one, and at the end of the film where he says, "Not so fast, El Guapo. If you move an inch, I'll fill you so full of lead you'll be using your dick for a pencil."
Yeah. He's like, what?
What does that even mean? Oh well, I think it means that. Shut up, shut up.
So
It's-
funny.
I just love the whole premise of this whole movie.
Yes.
You know, the mistaken identity thing. Like how do you go about making a Three Amigos show, and just the whole meta aspect of it, where they think that they're actors and they think they're being paid for this acting gig, and then they have to step up and be real heroes.
Mhm.
It's just one, it's hilarious, and
Yeah.
also it's a very endearing story in and of
Yeah.
itself. I just thought it was really brilliant how they
But that reveal
Well,
was a pretty big important part of the movie, and I don't think you could do a show without the remaking, like the Three Amigos, in any way.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, because it's kind of well, it's not racist. It's playfully cultural, like playfully diverse. It's not racist. In my
Hollywood's too
opinion.
afraid
There's
to make
it's
comedies
nothing
now.
racist.
Yeah.
Like comedy is not. It's not racism in any ways. You can be as well.
The only-
Sometimes
only
it's- if
comedy-
you-
the
if
only
you're not funny,
comedies-
probably.
The only comedies that Hollywood is still willing to make are sex comedies.
Hmm.
Yep.
That's all, because everything else is cliche.
Mhm. Well, I was going to say, even this premise, again, not to divert too far from Three Amigos itself, but it's the same premise as
I mean,
Galaxy
taboo.
Quest.
I said cliche. That's the. I meant taboo.
Taboo,
That's the
yeah,
wrong
you're
word.
right. But
Everything else
but-
is taboo.
either way, I was going to bring up Galaxy Quest because it's the same concept of
Yeah.
that idea of like, mistaken identity of something that was a TV show people thought was true, and it ends up being endearing while also being very hilarious. The hijinks that ensue. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I really love this movie. It's so infinitely quotable. There are several quotes that we do all the time in our house. Growing up as kids. It's yeah.
I would say that this movie has one of the best starts of any comedies that I've seen in many, many times. Into the point where they find out that they are in the real deal, like they are going to get killed.
Yeah.
After that, it gets a little bit boring, where they are just like traveling on the desert, and it's like, okay,
That's one of my
this is-
favorite scenes, though. It's one of my favorite scenes, the campfire scene.
No,
Yeah.
no, with the Three Amigos, but with the other, when they take the kid, the girl, and they
Yeah.
are doing all these. Oh, you're gonna f the girl and whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's boring for me. It's like, okay, whatever. I just want to see more of the Three Amigos.
Yeah.
In my
There-
opinion, the
Yeah.
scenes they overplay the whole Mexican and the Guapo thing, and it's like put the four of them together with the Guapo and the Three Amigos, and you're going to be doing magic, but they
Yeah.
just stop. Maybe they run out of a little bit of creativity in that part, just that part, and then by the end they just revive the spark with the whole beat, with the guns and and the guy holding out of the piñata.
Yeah.
And that was after that part, when the three amigos come back to the main scene, it's just the movie revives. But that's the reason why I gave it like a lower score, is because they wasted the potential of this being the greatest comedy of all times.
Yeah, I agree. I think there are some parts in there that don't quite flush out as well as I would hope them to. One part that I always didn't think was good as a kid, I thought it was completely off the wall and didn't fit in with the rest of the movie, was the whole invisible swordsman
Yeah,
and
invisible
bush part.
Yeah,
Like what the heck is this?
what is this? Yeah,
Like
that was-
it's silly and it's stupid and yeah, it's funny, but it doesn't really fit in with
yeah,
anything
it's funny
else
by
going
itself.
on.
Yeah.
It's funny by itself, but it takes you out of the movie a little
Exactly.
bit. You ever feel like you're watching a samurai ninja? I don't know, something weird like Ghost
I was-
Ninja or something like that.
Rewatching it, what I was impressed with that scene was the practical effects. Because
Sure.
they have when they kill him, they have the outline of the body, and then Ned walks over and picks up the arm and drops it,
Yeah.
and it's
The
all
dust.
in frame, but you see the dust pop up, and like
Yeah,
it's,
that was
it's
good.
done really well.
Yeah, something I wanted to say about all the movies. They are
It is a
mostly
little incongruous.
mostly practical effects. Like most of them are mostly practical effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, things like with green screen and a little bit of things with green screen and the bullets and I mean the shots of the guns and the blood. That's a little bit of CGI, a little bit of practical. But yeah,
Mhm.
I was pretty pleased with the practical effects in all of those movies. Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Shout out to Gadfly real quick for stopping by the stream. Yeah, he's
Mhm.
kind enough
Hey,
to
Gadfly.
put up with me for 2 hours and talk about Discworld. So,
Nice.
Nice, thank you, brother.
but
Yeah, great movie.
Yeah. When I watched this yesterday, I forgot about the German guys.
the German guy
Yeah.
and the My Little Buttercup
like-
scene.
Yeah.
My
yeah,
little buttercup, sweet little buttercup.
And then the actual two guys come in and are like, "Hey, look at the little sissies."
Look at that little sissy. Well,
Yeah.
what I realized watching this film is the reason that this works and Galaxy Quest, the reason that these movies work so well, and probably another significant reason why Hollywood could never make something this good today, aside from the racial sensitivity, right, the unwillingness to offend anyone,
Yeah.
is they let them be heroes.
Mhm.
They start off as complete losers and fakes and phonies, and they learn that they have to change
Right.
and they have to be better. And by the end, they actually do some pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Like Ned
Yeah.
Mhm.
has to do a gunfight with the German to
Yeah.
prove that he is that fast, right? And they have to give up that, who they have to change themselves to become better people. And by the end, they're all being heroic and inspiring the
Yeah.
whole town to pick up the mantle. Who is your El Guapo? In your case,
because
the actual
everybody
El
fights the
Guapo
real
is your El Guapo, right?
Yeah, and it makes
But-
sense. It makes sense because it's not like the Rings of Power, all those where they give just powers out of nowhere.
Well,
It makes sense.
exactly. If they made this movie today, the message wouldn't be "No, you have to change it." It would be, "Oh no, you were successful at the end because you finally accepted yourself for who you were and you didn't
Mhm.
change one bit."
Mhm. No, they'd have the lady
They-
from
they would
that came
probably
to
have-
recruit them. She would end up being the one that saved the day in the end.
Yeah.
It would be the
You,
three
you had the
cheapest-
power all along. You didn't need these white.
Sorry, Jacob. You keep getting interrupted. What were you saying?
Sorry.
It would be the three
I said
chicas.
it.
Yes.
It would
Okay.
be the three
I got it. I heard it retroactively.
Yeah.
The three
You know what I just
chicas.
realized is another one that does this exact same trope is A Bug's Life. Also quite a
Yes.
good movie.
Yes.
Huh?
It is a trope, but
Again, I'm not even thinking because I hadn't even thought about it in terms of like, oh man, this has been done so many times. Because it's still not one of the more common ones, but it's always well done. Like it's been good. Whatever different spins they put on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
And the teaching is always the same. At the end of the day, what it matters is
you have
courage.
to step up.
Yep,
yeah,
it's
courage,
it's
and
courage,
because
and
they
the
did
fake
do
heroes
the
become
gimmick
heroes.
with the movies, and back then you had real guns with sales. What do you call it? The
Blanks.
fate blanks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the blanks.
Squibs.
They use
Blanks.
blanks, so you had to draw the shot either way, so it looks real.
Yeah.
So they had
Yeah.
to do this movement, so they had to practice. They just had to get the bullets and the balls. Yeah.
Yep.
Look,
Yeah,
think
and they
about, like-
give
Go on.
they give what's his name, Ned, the big gun,
Yeah.
and he shoots it and he blows him back.
yeah, yeah. So funny. That will happen as well. It's a different buckshot. I mean, what is it called? No,
Backdrop
backdrop. That's exactly.
Or you're gonna say recoil?
or recoil.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking in terms of it's a trope that's been done with a different backdrop. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're talking about the gun, the recoil.
In reality, that gun probably would have smacked him in the face.
Yes. But yeah, I was thinking, think of like the female Ghostbusters movie, right? None of the women have a character arc. They're not allowed to, right? They had to. They were always smart from the beginning. The Mulan reboot. Mulan is magic. Instead of having to learn to be good, she's magic, and since she was a baby, she was pulling off all these feats. Instead of having to struggle,
Jesus,
and learn to be a mighty warrior, she's just gifted, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
and to use
Galadriel.
less strength than the man.
the Mulan
to
was just the most
overcome
insulting
that.
because yeah, in the movie she struggles a lot to become the woman she had to be to defeat the king, no, the king, the Un, yeah, the home.
Yeah. Anywho, if anybody hasn't seen Three Amigos,
It's a wonderful,
recommend you
wonderful
see it.
movie.
Yeah,
really
great
fun.
movie.
Yeah, it is. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I need to review it. Since I haven't been here the last few weeks, I haven't been getting the homework. So David didn't pass the homework on to me. I sent him to class without me, and he didn't bring it back.
Yeah.
There has been a lot of homework skipping recently, and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know how to punish you guys.
What are we gonna do? Fail us?
I also like the part where are gringos falling from the sky?
Yes, El Guapo, they are.
yes, they are.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's so infinitely quotable. Can I have your watch when you are dead?
I think I quoted one of my favorite quotes from this movie on this stream before, but it's always a really awkward one. The remember when we raped the horses, and rode off on the women. That was a hard one to throw into normal conversation, but it's a fun
And
one.
we pruned the hedges and who the heck are you?
Yeah, that's good. My favorite one though is the whole distraction thing. It's like we'll do a bird crawl.
Look at me here! Look at me!
Look at me! Hey, you!
Ha!
You! Look at me!
Look at me! You God!
Oh, that's so good. Like I said, the beginning of that movie is the best.
Yeah.
The first 30 minutes are like golden.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to speak a little bit closer to my mic because it's raining cats and dogs outside for some reason. I had
We've
to
seen
lower
the
the
cats
gain.
running around back behind you there, so yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, they don't like the rain, so they are running around like crazy. But yeah, I love that movie. I never saw it before that. I knew of its existence. Nobody in Mexico really knows about it because I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why, to be honest. I think people in Mexico will love it. People in Mexico don't care about that stereotypes, racial stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever. Only people in America really care about those things. Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Mark Clark. Thanks a lot. Is my volume good now? I've been struggling because there was some update with like an auto leveler, and disabled it, but I still can't get the levels right. So
Well, it sounds
let me
good
know if you can't hear
here,
me.
but I don't know how it's coming through on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's fine. I can
Tonight
hear
it's
you
good.
guys
Okay.
fine.
Yeah,
Can you hear me
sounds good.
well? Can you hear me?
I can hear all you guys, but yeah, there were a couple times where
All right.
it was the like auto adjust mic volume that was like just I couldn't even hear myself when I was watching it back. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounded fine to me. So
I thought I'd fixed it, which is frustrating if it was bad on the Discworld stream. So that's supposed to be at 90. Yeah, should be good. Should be good. We'll
Mm-hmm.
see.
And which is the next movie you would like to?
Let's do some news,
Yeah.
and then people can leave if they don't want to talk about the movies they haven't seen, or they can stay. It's fine. Here we go. Here's some news. Crash Bandicoot franchise is going to debut their first non-binary character with Crash Team Rumble Fighter Cat Bat. And what's funny is I don't know which one they're talking about.
Which of the characters?
Is this the blue hair one or the?
probably the one there in the front
Or
because
both
it's Cat
of them.
Bat. But yeah,
But no, they're not. They're not pushing the stuff on your kids, guys. They're not.
No.
Don't
My question
believe.
is, why does it matter? There were tons of characters, and like
I don't care.
none of
Yeah, that we're gay or whatever,
All
and
in
nobody
question.
cared. Like, but they were not shooting that thing straight
I mean,
out your
You
eyeball.
don't see other things saying, "Hey, look, we're straight. We're so
Exactly.
straight."
Yeah,
weird.
Crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an old game. Like, doesn't really have much agency right now.
Yeah, it was a good set of games on the
It was a
PlayStation.
great
2, I
set of
think.
games. Great set of
Like a
games.
whole bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played Crash Bandicoot. I have
You gotta
the
play-
trilogy re-release on the Switch. I've never played it.
Yeah,
I don't have
but
time for
you had
games.
to play it that
little bit
back
at one
then.
time,
You
yeah.
had to play it back then. Right now, it's not that much
Yeah,
enjoyable.
it's kind of dated. It's still fun. You can
Mhm.
you can still play it. It's very linear and
Well, when I do play games, I choose retro stuff or indie games because AAA games are awful.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
But
we can talk about Call of Duty. Mm-hmm.
yep. We've got the directors of the Spider-Man movie finally revealed that they made the sequel because they wanted it to be a commentary on the fans who don't see Miles as Spider-Man.
And then the third one also is going to talk about that. Like, it's going to be like a big. I heard something around those lines.
Look,
it's the weird thing is I haven't heard anybody who disliked the first one for any reason with like Miles
No.
being not Spider-Man or anything like that. Everyone seemed to
Right.
accept him.
I enjoyed
I
it.
liked him until they started pushing him everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I like Miles Morales.
And that's the whole point.
He isn't Spider-Man. He's a Spider-Man,
Hmm.
Yeah,
but he's not. But
his
Peter
own
Parker was
character.
Spider-Man.
No,
He's more
Well, just
interesting.
like-
Yeah, exactly. He's more interesting when he was himself, and now he's Thor, and he's all
Oh,
of the other
really?
characers now too. Yeah,
Just
I
like
haven't
the
even paid attention to
character
that. That's wild.
with the
Mhm.
in
Yeah,
Marvel with the wings. What's that guy's name? That was in the
Falcon.
movies.
Yeah.
Falcon. He
Yeah.
was his
Falcon
own
was-
character, but they pushed him into the role of Captain America.
Mhm.
And it sucked. Like,
it did.
it's going to suck. Like, if they try to push Miles Morales, like trying to take over. I haven't seen this one because I don't want to go to movies. I don't want to pay for this movie. I just want to wait for it to come to streaming, and then I can see it. Watch it.
I watched it. I thought
But-
it was good. I
Yeah,
quite enjoyed
yeah.
it.
I know it's going to be good. It's just that
Nope.
I don't want to
I'm
watch
done. I won't do it.
it. Mm-hmm.
The first one was really good. I was
The
looking
second one
forward
was
to
really
this one.
solid too. Lots of really good stuff in there.
Well,
Yeah, I can just watch the first one.
Yeah,
Why
and
can't he just
there's
be Miles Morales?
I'll see it eventually.
it's
but-
its own story, so it can be seen separately. You know, you don't have to.
It's a good one. The first one's good, and I won't watch the second one. And I'm told it's you're not missing out. So it's doing well in
I'll tell
theaters.
you, you're
though.
missing out, but my opinion is minimal here.
Just for the animation, I would say that probably you're missing out. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
I've
the
seen
animation with
some
this one was
spoilers.
actually a little less than what I wanted it to be, but
I've
the
seen
rest of
some
it, I like the story, but
I've seen some spoilers, and I'm not impressed with the ending. I think it's stupid.
it is one of those things that makes sense as to why they had originally built it as a part 1, part 2. It does come.
Oh,
to
I
an
don't. I
ending,
don't
but it's
mind. I
very
don't
much a
mind the cliffhanger. I don't mind the cliffhanger. I
With
think
Kilometer Morales. Well, Miles Morales finds
No.
Kilometer Morales. Yeah.
There you go.
I don't. I don't mind.
heard they
I don't
just
dislike.
cut at the end of it. They
Yeah.
don't really lead up to a break in between two movies. It's just a cut.
It's
I
not
don't
as
dislike-
bad as that, but it's
I don't dislike the idea of a cliffhanger ending. I think that the reveal that they chose to
Yeah,
do
Plus,
is
There's ways to
retarded.
do it.
But also, I don't care, so I'm not
No.
going to watch it. Yeah, Avatar is on Max and Disney Plus.
Really?
oh, for real?
It's on.
It
It's
is
on.
on Disney Plus. I know that it
It's
just got
on
on there.
both. Yeah, because it's on Disney Plus,
is
and
the best. I mean, it's the same movie. Like,
I might watch Avatar 2 if I can't sleep tonight. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
too
My brother
long.
really
It's
wanted
definitely too
to.
long.
My brother
It's
wanted
about-
to introduce
Avatar
my
2 is
niece
about
and a bunch of her
family,
friends
man.
to watching Fern Gully and then the first Avatar and then the second to kind of blow their minds and be like, what?
Yep.
Yep, it's fine. It should have been way shorter, and I would have liked it more.
Mhm.
But I enjoyed it. More, yeah. It was weird because it came on Disney Plus like a day earlier, and then like the next day it was out on Max, and I was like, oh, that is odd. But it was previous deals and stuff. I don't know. I don't understand it, but this one's funny.
What?
No, it's not gay. It's just erotic. It's just erotic male bonding of sunning your undercarriage and simultaneous seed release.
Oh, gross.
It's not gay.
Okay, what?
It's not gay, guys.
Whatever.
It's the New York Post. But also,
Yeah.
isn't it Gay Month? I thought it. Happy Gay Month, everybody.
This
Mark
really
Clark.
works.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness! Thank you so much for the $10. I look forward to Sunday nights because of y'all. I look forward to Sunday nights because of you guys, because of the discussion and because of the audience, because you guys are great. Did you guys see this though? This actively pissed me off.
Oh yeah, I got me. I was about to make a video about it, but I couldn't finish the editing before the.
So, streamer, I don't even know, Nick Merckx
Yeah,
had a deal
gamer.
with Call of Duty, had his own skin, and made a comment on Twitter saying, "Look, do what you want, leave kids alone." And so they pulled his skin from the game and fired
Not
him.
even kids. He said
Canceled.
little children.
Yeah, he says little
Because-
children.
Yeah, he was talking about the brawl that was outside.
Yeah, the big fight. Yeah.
Outside the Glendale, CA County,
Yeah.
whatever. And
The
they,
Tifa started.
yeah, but it was really
Tifa.
weird because when I find out they were talking about elementary school children. They were
Yeah.
teaching those topics to elementary school
Yeah.
children, and he was just commenting, keep little children alone."
And so they canceled his ambassadorship and removed the skin from game. I don't know if they refunded people who bought it or if it wasn't out yet, but because I don't play Call of Duty. Because
No, it was out for a while. It was one of the old skins because he won either a tournament or because Face Clan is one of the biggest like teams in shooters. So in shooters anywhere. Yeah.
Sweeney Todd is trending. I hope it's not because they're remaking it.
No, with Josh Groban.
I don't know. Maybe he's saying a song.
Yeah.
It's Josh Groban. I don't think. I don't know.
I don't care.
Anyway, but this has led to a really funny meme. I loved this one. On the topic of Spider-Man. if that kind of statement is an attack on your community, you deserve to be attacked. Anyway, this here's a funny meme, and then we can get back to talking about movies.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Dude, it'd be so funny though.
No, but if they do it, trust me, if they do it, they're going to make the girl.
Yeah,
the
she's
black
gonna
one.
be black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy is going
Yeah.
to be like either
Yeah, he's
really
gonna be the
white, like
stupid
the
white
whitest
guy.
boy you've seen in your life, or Mexican or something like that. Like something that you can just fun of, and no one is going to be.
No,
bothered.
he'll be like Mayan or something. You know, so it'll make sense.
Or Cambodian or some some bull like that. Yeah. Well, whatever. What movie you want to talk about now? Because I can give you a freaking school, a cathedral for each of those movies because I've seen them many times.
Yeah. No,
Since I haven't seen any of them, and I've actually still got lots of stuff that I've been trying to get set back from once we got
Okay.
back from vacation, I'm gonna take off.
Yeah,
It's been a long time since I've seen you guys though, and so I wanted to make it in, even though it was gonna be short. But have a good one, you guys. I appreciate it. Good to
Yeah,
see you
pleasure.
always.
Good to be on with you.
Yeah.
good
to have you.
good to talk to you as always.
See
But-
y'all.
My bearded. I'm actually going to
Enjoy.
take off too. It's my
Fine.
wife's birthday, so
Ooh,
All right.
That's right. I saw that.
yeah.
Nice,
Happy
bro.
birthday.
Happy
to your
birthday,
wife.
Martina.
Have a good one,
Mhm.
Thanks for tuning in.
Birthday, Martina.
and I'll try to watch the movies next week.
Do your homework next time. Seriously,
Yep.
okay? You don't have to watch all three, okay? But
Yeah.
Operation Avalanche is free.
I'll
Mhm.
definitely do Operation Avalanche, and we'll see about the others.
I'm excited.
Mhm.
Bye.
Take care, Mexico.
David,
Jacob.
sure, David was late and
Yep.
leaving early.
You too, bro.
Shame
I
on
was
David.
not late. Thank you very much.
Shame on David.
All right. Bye.
Hey, we started like 3 minutes, okay? I always try and start if it's 10 minutes late, then I just go.
Yeah,
whoever's
I
here.
guess because the video was long, so he probably just caught the beginning of the intro of the
Yeah.
of the show. Yeah,
Um,
but yeah, what movie? What did you like the most of out of those two? Because I think it's
I personally like Get the Gringo
Mhm.
more.
Yeah.
Well, they're both perfect though. Like in that they perfectly execute what they're trying to execute.
yes.
And they're just different things. Like Get the Gringo is just like a slice of Mexico and incredibly authentic and a lot of fun, and it's Mel Gibson just having a good time. You know,
Yeah.
I love a good white savior story. And Casa de Mi Padre is it's just the perfect critique of telenovelas.
Yeah. In my
Um,
opinion, it's the best movie. No, well, not the best Will Ferrell because he has in the beginning of his career, he had a lot of great stuff.
Mhm.
He went downgrading, time to time.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, until right now he's he's rough. He's rough.
It's been a while
Anchorman-
since I've seen a good
Anchorman-
Will Ferrell movie.
Anchorman was the best, I think. Anchorman was the best.
Um,
But
Stranger Than Fiction. You
Oh,
haven't seen
yeah.
that one. That one's good.
Mhm.
But what's great about these two movies specifically is they are both incredibly authentic. One
Mhm.
is authentic to Mexico in real life, and the other is authentic to Mexican culture.
the novelas, yeah.
Right, or how how Mexico sees themselves, right, with the telenovelas. I swear, I can't even count how many people I talked to in Mexico who thought that that Laura in America was unscripted.
Oh yeah.
They
Yeah.
thought they think it's real.
Yeah.
They don't know that it's Jerry Springer, but in Mexico, and
Mhm.
that everyone is an actor. But
Yeah.
it's so funny. It's so funny. I loved watching Laura in America with a bunch of old Mexican women.
They get all shoddy
It's
and they
ridiculous.
get all,
like they would have they're like, oh, we
Disgusting.
found your father who's been missing for 50 years, and we found him in a week. And we also have footage, like they'd have footage of people having an argument, like, and it would have been
Secret
like
camera, yeah.
impossible for the camera to be there. Like, it doesn't make sense in the context of the story they're trying to sell that there was a camera recording them.
Yes.
And it's
You were
just
like doing, oh,
it's
we put
wonderful.
a secret camera, and the camera had like a 1090, like 1080 resolution. And
Or
it's like,
but
okay,
also it's a
you had
conversation that happened
Yeah.
like a month earlier, you know, and
Mhm.
they have
Exactly.
camera
Footage.
footage of it. Oh, it's wonderful. It's so good.
You're right. It's just a Yuri.
It's Jerry Springer. It's Mexican Jerry Springer. Oh, Mexi's frozen. But two wonderful movies, which would Casa de Mi Padre. Let's just talk about that one first. We got to make a choice and wait for Mexa. He's still frozen. We'll see.
Uh
Oh, he's gone. He's gone now. Which movie did you like better, Jacob?
oh. Get the Gringo.
Yeah.
Maybe Casa de Pedro. Is that how you say it?
Casa de Mi Padre is the
Casa de Mi Padre. Yeah.
Casa de Mi
I
Padre.
don't. Maybe it was just Will Ferrell for me is either hit or miss,
Yeah.
and it being in Spanish, kind of, I don't know. It threw me.
It definitely helps. Well, it's like they have subtitles the whole time, but it helps if you know Spanish. It also is better if you know the culture. Like if you know telenovelas, if you've ever seen one, it's hilarious.
Yeah, is
Right.
that like a soap opera?
Yes, it's a Mexican
yeah.
soap opera. So if you like know the context, it's a lot more funny. But I could not not having that same experience, it would be a very different watch.
Okay. I did think that they had the matte paintings in the background, but some of them didn't line up properly.
Oh yeah. There's some good gags.
Yeah.
The just like the shots that are held too long of people laughing
Yeah.
are good. My favorite scene though in the entire movie is when the bad guy confronts them at the bar.
Yeah.
And is talking to him, being menacing, lights up a cigarette and keeps talking, and like a couple minutes later sticks in a second cigarette,
Yeah.
lights it up, and is just juggling two cigarettes for the rest of the scene.
And he's like,
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
funny.
well done.
So good. Yeah, it's so good.
And it's played completely straight, and it's like believable, but just hilarious. Oh, it's so good. It's so
yeah.
I like the
And
part
he also
where
played. Yeah, go ahead. Mhm.
I like the part where it first shows that guy. He's getting out of his
His
truck,
his
and he
white
like
suit.
he pets his boots.
Yeah. And there's
Because
a
it's like
snake.
a cat. It's a cat on his
and-
boot. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah,
like a
whatever.
snake, like a sound. It's always like the throw. Yeah.
Sam. A stinger and a little.
Yeah, the stinger for the boots. First of all, with that movie, it just impressed me. I didn't even know who was starring in it.
Mhm.
And the guys starring are like the three biggest stars in freaking Mexico. Like, it makes no
Diego
sense.
Luna and
Diego Luna and Garcia Bernal is like,
Garcia Bernal.
they spend their entire budget in those guys. they are expensive, and they probably
And
did it
Will
because
Ferrell's
they love-
expensive too.
Yeah. I mean, he did it,
Yeah.
but they probably did it because they love the script.
Mhm.
Because they don't do like shatsu, they don't do things,
Yeah.
whatever.
It's very well made though. Like
Yeah.
there is a lot of attention for a movie that appears
Mhm.
haphazard. There was actually a ton of attention to detail. Like
Forget about that,
the mistakes are there on purpose, obviously for the
Yeah.
joke, but like everything is intentional. Like they really put a lot of care into this movie. Just like the
Mhm.
blocking.
I like the whole part with the shows the mount or the big cat,
The
And
big.
he's like,
Mm.
hello, all. I apologize profusely for what you are watching right now."
I didn't vet the animal handlers,
Yeah, I didn't know
and a
that.
Bengal tiger died. On,
A lot of people got it in. Yes.
did I make
So
mistakes?
funny.
Yes. Okay.
I love the kind of is like so Monty Python. I don't know. I remember see a lot of Monty
Yeah.
Python. Um.
But like even like the framing and the music
Mhm.
cues and the blocking and the line delivery, that it's a perfect homage to
Yeah.
these Mexican soap operas.
And I would say that it's Mexican Wes Anderson. Sometimes it's like there's
Yeah.
perfect like the shot, the way the shot are established. It's perfect sometimes with they put the character in the middle or in the side. I don't know. It was like pretty aesthetic. Hmm.
I
Yep.
love I just love the commitment to the cheap sets and and how they it has like a show, the show must go on type attitude, with
Hmm.
like clearly like there are scenes where like, oh yeah, we wanted to spend more money on this, but this is what we have, and so we're just making it work. Like when the girl tries to drown herself,
Oh yeah,
right?
and she's like,
And it's like waist deep water because
Yeah.
Will Ferrell like walks in after her, and she's
yeah, I didn't
like, no
understand
puedo
that
nada.
thing that they chose to do a set right there I mean, I know it's hard to probably to find a lake in the desert, but in that part of Mexico, there's a lot of lakes like
Yeah.
and cascades and whatever waterfalls. So they probably should use one for real, but I think there was the ridiculous part of it, that the aspect of it, that it was just a basically a green screen with a couple of shrubberies and a lake. And that's it. That's your set.
Mhm.
In the house they barely showed like the front of the house, and when the wedding, it was just like 20 shares, like 20 shares, like set up
And a
like
couple mannequins in the back.
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. And the band, the most funny
The
thing is I read the entire cast, and everyone was Mexican, but the four people, which was the Shelly, the Molly Keaton character, the girl, the American girl that it was like,
Oh yeah, the cousin. Yeah,
yeah, that just say one line. It was kind of funny.
the
Um,
And two,
the
the one
Gutsico,
family
yeah,
member,
Mexico, the Gutsico, yeah, something like that.
one of the
Me-
family members in that
Mexico
shooting
is the
scene.
bestico. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
exactly. That's exactly that one.
And the shooting scene at the wedding, there's the one family member who survived, and he's just sitting there
So,
drinking his drink.
the wedding massacre is
Yeah.
just absolutely brilliantly shot,
Yeah, beautiful shot.
well,
Mhm.
it's horribly shot on
Yeah,
purpose, and
Yeah.
exactly.
the scene where they pan out or they pull back and then focus in on the rose that's bleeding, and you're like, why is there so much blood coming from
Yeah.
the inside of this rose? Like that was just pulled straight from a telenovela. Like
Yeah, and
it's
the
uh,
exactly. I was going to say, the the transitions are also brilliant. That
yeah,
when sometimes it looks like it glitches, and it's just like such like
there's
I bet that guy was so high during the entire freaking writing of that movie.
it's
The
fun.
Will Ferrell
And two,
guy.
the guy apologizing for the bad cat scene is like, did the tigers get into the cocaine? Yes.
Oh,
Why did
I
we leave
love
the
that
cocaine
part.
out? Look, there's plenty of questions we could be asking right now.
Yeah. Oh, we had actual drugs during the the recording. Yes.
Uh, it's a lot
So
of
fun,
fun.
funny.
I
And the thing that you probably didn't notice, because I notice a lot with these Mexican things because he's Mexican. He actually, well, the person that wrote and the director, they actually like watched through a lot of, probably a lot of telenovelas.
oh yeah,
No, and not only from one age, like from different ages, because there's like the thing with the musicals, that's like the telenovelas from the past, from the 70s, 80s. Then after that they went straight, to just acting format. so they went for the so melodramatic, and the thing with when he's like, no, no, Armando, and with the girl, and she's like, that's so telenovela. I was like, oh, this is perfectly done. And what's the name of the girl? Genesis, her name is Genesis, in real life. She is actually she's been telenovela actress, but she's more like Americanized, like
Yeah.
she's in the American ones, or the American Mexican ones, like in Miami and all those ones. And she's really good at it, so she probably had a lot of fun with this movie. She sees that she looks like she's enjoying herself, to the point of kissing Will Ferrell. We watched it, like I was like, no, why? Why are you having a nudity with Will Ferrell? Oh my god.
The
The
butt
Mexicans
scene.
are rough. Like, tough.
I think my favorite part of the movie is, well, several parts, is they're constantly having prop pieces
Mhm.
that are out of place, like when they're in the bar and he picks up the dirt. Esta es mi tierra.
Yeah.
Or in the shootout at the end, they're he's shooting behind a car and he leans down and picks up a drink.
That was
He
that
just
was
had it
my
sitting by the
favorite
wheel,
part.
and then and then the
Dude,
shots where he's getting shot up and
that was
still
so Mexican.
trying to
That's
just
so
sip his drink. It
Mexican.
was
Literally, that was the
so well
most
done.
Mexican thing that I've seen in the whole. Like, he probably said, "Dude, that would be hilarious." I'm betting something that I'm pretty sure of it, really, really sure of it, is that first of all, Will Ferrell wrote, or whatever the person that wrote this script wrote it in English, and then they translated it into Spanish. The translation was really done. All of them, some parts where the words don't exist in Spanish, and they do the English version, but they just
Yeah,
add an O or an N,
yeah,
at the end.
yeah. There were some
So it
parts where I was
sounds
like, wait,
Mexican.
that's not what the
Yeah, that's not
Spanish
a
they were
real word.
speaking wasn't real
Exactly.
Spanish. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Spanish English. Well, I mean, someone from the north probably would talk like that. So it's pretty accurate. Pretty,
That being said, though,
pretty
like
accurate.
Will Ferrell did an impressive job. Like
Yeah,
it was gringo Spanish, but like he put some
you can
dedication
still,
into
but
it.
it's hilarious the fact that he still keeps at it. Like when he says ranchero, oh my god, I burst out laughing. Ranchero, and I was like, my dude, like, roll your R's, man. Like, come
It's
on,
hard.
it's not
The
that hard.
It is. No, it is. We actually pronounce ours differently in English.
Robert, I know, it's
So we
you
use the middle of
rounded.
our tongue. We
Yeah,
use the middle of our tongue to make the R sound.
yeah.
Yeah.
We curve. It's like curved like this.
Mm-hmm. It's a
Uh,
curve.
Ugh.
And we Mexicans use
The tongue is pointed
tip.
down, Robert, and then
Yeah,
Mexico, it's the opposite. You curve upward
the
and
tip.
touch
Yeah,
the tip of your tongue for that,
Yeah.
right? And I'm even bad at it. I mean, it's worse with my new teeth. I've had to relearn how to roll my R's.
it's really easy if
Oh,
you do. Every Mexican has to do this when they are a kid. They are like, okay, you suck at rolling your R's. You have to do like a
rápido
motor.
corren los carros.
Yeah, but
Tres tristes tigres. Yeah, that one.
yeah, that you still got it. You still got it. Tigres. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. I know it's hard, but he did a great job, and it's just hilarious for someone that's from Mexico. Like, trying to sometimes when Nick Otterman, which is something that really impressed me.
Yeah.
I totally
Really
forgot he was
impressed
in.
me when he came out of nowhere. I was like, "What is the DEA agent that is always a DEA agent in every show,
Yeah.
in movie?" It reminded me so much to his character in the Meet the Millers. Oh no, who the heck are the Millers, or Meet the Millers? Yeah. Um.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Yeah.
that.
No,
Yeah.
you have to see that movie. That's a funny movie. That's a funny
Do
movie.
you speak American?
Do you speak American? I speak English perfect. That Will Ferrell trying to do the Mexican
Mexican, yeah.
speaking American. Oh my gosh, it was so
funny.
good. I can't even remember what the line was, but
Yeah.
I speak your English.
Like I said, I think that this was the most entertaining movie, and Oh, the thing I didn't say was the characters like Pedro Armendáriz Jr., which is great actor, great one of the greatest actors ever to ever grace Mexico. Um, and Gael Garcia Bernal and Diego Luna, they all improvise most of their lines because it clearly you can tell when there's a Mexican speaking Mexican
Yeah,
and then when there's an
and
American
when there's an American
speaking
writing
trying
Spanish.
to Spanish. Yes, exactly because there are three no two gringos if I can say gringos right, two gringos speaking American Mexican the whole movie, which is Adrian Martinez, which is the chubby white guy, and that is the kicks the kick the sidekick of Will Ferrell, and obviously Will Ferrell. Um, yeah, everything was perfect. Regarding Mexicanness, the whole thing with the narcos and the attitude. The thing with the drinks, like, it's really, really like I was thinking to myself, if I was in a shootout, if I had a drink next to me, like a beer, I will be, hitting the beer. I go drunk. I go out of the world drunk. Or if I had, I do not recommend this, but if you were in that situation, you probably had some of the white dust. So if you're gonna die and you're like, and you see the white dust and you're like, okay, I'm going to get superpowers like Scarface for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Freaking, you're going to die. You're in a shootout. You're in a Mexican a standoff. Was it? Oh no, that was in the other movie thing where they say, "Oh, we are in a Mexican standoff," or was it in Casa de? Yeah, with other
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
other man
it's
when at
Offerman.
the end, yeah, with Offerman, where she's like, okay, we are in an actual Mexican shit, yeah, and the other, not every gringo is malo or something like that. He says
Not all
not all
Mexicans
Mexicans
are
are
narcos,
narcos.
and
Yeah,
not
yeah,
all Americans are bad guys.
yeah. I mean,
and
but
then
they
and
are,
then as he rides off into the sunset, the guy's like, "Bye, bye."
Bye, yeah. Oh my
The
god,
I
such a funny
actually
movie.
really
I
I
love that
actually
movie.
unironically I really like Garcia Bernal's final words when he
Oh
falls down
yeah,
the
yeah,
stairs and he's like, I dreamed of this moment, and I always thought there'd be cameras, and I was like, wait, that's actually good writing. Like, wait a second,
yeah,
this is
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
But it was the
Not
delivery was
only
just so
that,
funny.
the acting of the father when he's about to die, and he's like, I'm not going to die of pain. I'm going to die of
A
embarrassment, something
broken
like
heart,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
broken heart embarrassment, because the other kid just getting drunk. I was so Mexican. You're the father's dying and the family is outside drinking. Like, that's literally Mexico, like, right there. It happens. It literally happens. Well, in that kind of family is like rancheros, that kind of ranchero
Yeah.
family, which is a whole different breed of Mexicans. Um, but yeah, for me, this was the most entertaining of the bunch. It's just nonstop laughing, and then, like I said, as a Mexican, it was like, okay, there's like a scene that where he's tripping with the animatronic. He's not even animatronic. It's just a doll. It's just a doll. It's just a doll. With the tiger, the white
Yeah.
tiger. And when he's tripping, that's Jodorowsky. Like, literally, that scene is an homage to Jodorowsky, and he's like,
Yep.
okay, the director really, really knew about Mexican cinema and
He
really
did.
knew about
Hey,
television.
he's a white guy too. I looked it up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's a total gringo.
Yeah, he looks like a white guy, but he probably went down to Mexico, met a few senoritas. And he was like, okay, I'm enamored with Mexico. It's really cheap to get a pretty amazingly looking girlfriend there if you have money. So so it doesn't really matter.
Dude, even if you don't, man, that was the most shocking thing about Mexico is walking around the street and seeing couples, and the guy is just dressed like a cholo, pants around his ankles,
Mhm.
just looks like like a no good deadbeat, and the girl is just in like a cocktail out dress and just like
Mhm.
dressed to the nines. I was like, you guys are together?
But they have
I
money.
don't get it.
Yeah, but they have money. You have money. You can anything like they do anything like they don't care. and they are even happy about it, you know, like they are like, no, he takes good care of me, like she said in the movie when she said he takes good care of me. I was like, this is so Mexican
Yeah.
again. The marriage, marrying a narco for, or for, you know, for the economical benefit and being safe or whatever, in a place where you cannot be safe at all, because she was going to get kidnapped by the Tio, which is also something that happens in the north part of Mexico, the marrying with tios and nieces
Yeah.
and primos and cousins. Um, yeah, it's so Mexican. And if it wasn't because Get the Gringo literally recorded in a freaking Mexican prison, I would say that this is one is the most Mexican of the bunch. But I don't know. I'm really turned, you know, between those two
This is
movies. Which is
authentic to Mexican stylization,
exactly in cinema and movies? Yeah,
and Get the
Mexicans and
Gringo
all of
is
them.
authentic to Mexico in real life.
Yeah, to IRL, like crazy Mexico. Yeah, well, yeah, but it's still an action movie, so it gets a little bit crazy.
Yeah, yeah. There's a little bit. It gets a little
What was the other scene when he shoots his mother? Like that's something that, dude, that's
crazy.
Yeah.
something even the
It,
president of Mexico killed his younger brother when he was like 4, like 5, 6 years old, and nobody talks about it. Our president killed his younger brother and his best friend. Like he put his best friend in a, like, completely paraplegic. But whatever. Yeah, that's our president. I mean, that's a Mexican president for for you right there. Yeah, that's so Mexican. The killing with the accidental killing with the gun, and what else? I was so, oh, the guy Garcia Bernal and the way he acted during the whole movie, and oh, and the accent though, the accent of those guys was so perfect, spot on. And Diego Luna specifically, he's really good with Mexican accents. He can do any accent in the whole country, because there are like 5, 6, 7 different
Yeah.
accents in the whole country. Just like in America, basically. So, and he reminded me such a, like, you saw Rudo and Cursi, right? Like the movie where he also, you didn't see Rudo and Cursi?
How do you spell it?
Rudo is Rudo, like root, but with an O, and Cursi
I
is
haven't seen it.
like cursive, but just with
Not that
without
full stop.
the VE. Yeah. Yeah, that's also a movie where they are together, like
Yeah.
they're playing the brothers, and oof, well, that's one of the biggest like cinema hit, like of all times, like one of the biggest grossing movies ever in Mexico, because it was really really good and it spoke to Mexicans. Like that movie also is really really Mexican. But because it's Mexican, yeah, that's what it speaks about the reach of these movies, the one Casa de Mi Padre and Get the Gringo. But it was really hard to find Get the Green. I mean, Casa de Mi Padre here in Mexico. You cannot find it anywhere.
hmm.
Literally, I had to scrub. Like, I probably have like a dozen viruses in my freaking computer because I had to look for it. But I knew that it was so funny. I knew that I wanted to see it because actually my father, while he was alive, he loved this movie. We went to see it in the theaters when it came out, and everyone in the theater was laughing out loud. Everyone in Mexico loved this movie, and I don't know why it's not more popular. And I hate that it lost money. I think it lost money or something like that. I read that they lost money with this movie.
They didn't market it very well.
Hmm.
Well, it's hard to market because it's not really.
The
It,
marketing was
it,
in
it,
Mexico. Like all the marketing was from Mexico, in my opinion, because I remember that
yeah,
was they did huge. Even Will Ferrell was
it
like,
didn't go to theaters either.
yeah, yeah.
It
Here it
didn't.
went to
Yeah,
theaters. Yeah, here it went to theaters, directly to theaters actually. Straight to theaters, and it was like 2 weeks. Not a long time for big because small budget movie in comparison.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
it wasn't a huge budget. It was
Hmm.
the budget was all spent on the actors for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I would say that that's the best investment you can get. Like you get great actors, you don't need that much. Hmm.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it opened in like one theater in California for 2 days,
Oh, come on. Like that's
and then yeah, it was all online. But
so
yeah, like
dumb.
it's hard. It's a hard movie to market to regular,
Americans, yeah.
Americans. The ideal market would be Mexican
Mexicans,
Americans
yeah.
who can kind of look back and make fun of their own culture a bit. But
Yeah, but not even that because Mexican Americans would not get this movie. You had to be Mexican, like literally
yeah,
grow up in Mexico to get this movie, and it was made for the whitest Americans you can find, which is impressive. I talk about people often talk about diversity, racism, whatever. Um,
Yeah.
this is real diversity. Like these guys really is almost like a cool situation. That these guys really went to towns and watch the movies and watch the shows and whatever. They did the research,
yeah,
and it
he's
should
a person like me.
mhm.
I've
it should
been to
it should
Mexico.
be
I've learned
better.
Spanish, and
Mhm, mhm.
I'm constantly drinking up the culture.
Yeah, it should have gotten a better like audience. And if I ever like get a little bit of a bigger audience to show people that movie, I would love to make a review about that movie if I can ever find it in DVD because there's nowhere else that I can like find it with decent resolution.
Yeah, it's I'd never
Oh,
seen it in
Hulu,
streaming. Yeah,
Hulu, right?
yeah, but
I
it
don't.
wasn't. It wasn't.
Mexico, no,
It
we
just
don't have
got there
Hulu.
recently.
We don't have
Or,
Hulu in Mexico.
I don't remember where I watched it
We
the first
had
time.
Sholo, the Sholo version of Hulu. Shulu.
Shoot. Well, it's a great movie.
Mhm.
It's enjoyable. Jacob Ironside, you enjoyed it a little bit. It wasn't horrible.
Yeah. No, it would terrible.
It's
No.
it's definitely more funny if you know Spanish or if you know the culture. The more you know
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Mexico, the more funny it is.
Yeah.
But it's still a good movie if you don't.
Yeah,
Right.
it's one of those movies that is just entertaining and in some parts when it's so bad it's good. Some parts it's like that the shooting the scene is so bad it's good. The thing with the drinking and the cigarettes is so
Oh,
cheesy.
the
So bad it's great. It's awesome. It's
double
so
cigarette scene in
so
the
funny.
just the
Yeah.
execution, the way he just juggles them between. It's
Yeah.
so good.
I
And
never I
for
never
a
seen
second,
that. Yeah, I never seen that
for a
specific.
second, because Will Ferrell was rolling his own cigarette and
Mhm.
not working. I thought he was going to give him a cigarette, but nope. He wanted to smoke them both.
No, dude. And
At the end, when
at
he
the
gives
end,
it to
at
his
the end,
brother,
no, that was the funniest. I
you
was like,
suck
oh
at
my
rolling cigarettes.
god. I was like, oh my god, that would happen in
Tienes un
Mexico
cigarrillo.
all the time.
Y aquí muero.
Armando, no mames. He says, Armando, no mames. I'm dying and you give me this piece of garbage. But he's still able to smoke it, so more props to the engineer behind that
Oh, there was
atrocity.
definitely a wire in there.
Dude,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
looked like a freaking English horn, like horn and glass, like yeah. No, a French horn because he
French
was
horn.
all
Yeah.
rolled. Yeah, rolled.
I got what you're talking about. I got it.
Yeah, yeah. Um, oh, I love that movie. I almost don't want to stop talking about it, and I hate that I had to go through so many computer viruses to get it.
I actually found it on Amazon, just sitting here.
Oh,
I don't know if
But it's with the premium.
no, to buy on DVD.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm going to.
I
I'm
don't know
going.
if it. You
Yeah,
have
if
to
I do
have.
the video, I'm going to buy it. But I was not going to
Yeah,
spend any a dollar in that. Yeah, I spent too much in streaming
yeah,
services to not find it, and I just found Get the Gringo locally.
yeah.
Um, yeah, which the name for Get the Gringo in Mexico was so ridiculous. I mean, in some parts of Mexico was agarren al gringo, which made sense. Get the gringo, agarren al gringo. But then it's called vacaciones violentas. And it's like what? Violent vacation or
never heard of
holiday.
it.
Oh well.
And it's like what? Has nothing to do with the whole freaking movie. It doesn't even have the word gringo on it. But I guess they were like, gringo is like a slur now, so we cannot say gringo.
What?
What?
You can say it all the time.
It
I
didn't offend
mean,
me.
yeah, but I don't know. Oh, and Nick Otherman talking English was so funny. He was the worst. I'm sorry, talking Spanish, and he was the
He's
worst at Spanish. He
speaking
probably failed.
American.
He's probably failed Spanish so many times. Like,
It's
mhm.
good.
So
Let's do some bad takes though, and then talk about
Mhm.
get the gringo, everybody. So here's the stinger.
Screen rants. Bad takes.
So I've noticed a trend on Screen Rant that every Sunday they get an article that's just paraphrasing Corridor Digital's Saturday video. They always do the VFX breakdowns on Saturdays, and without fail, for the last month, I've seen Screen Rant. Their news article is just pulling up a sentence that they said in their video and making it news. But this week was really funny because there were not one but two. This is just a sentence from a YouTube video, the news article, and then a second sentence from the same YouTube video, the news article. Which it's sad. And I didn't even check to see if it was the same person. No, it's a different person. But Screen Rant sucks, and you're
that's
not.
that's way sadder if it's a different person.
Yeah, it's a different person.
That's way worst.
You're not real news. But here's some actual like bad takes. These weren't good takes. It was just not new. It's just
Nothing.
Go watch the YouTube video. Who doesn't watch Digital Corridor, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Is it Corridor Digital now? Corridor Digital? Yeah.
Yeah.
something like that.
I was watching them before they switched. Okay, here's a bad take though. 12 12 MCU movies to
Oh,
watch
no.
before Secret Invasion.
What?
It's
Is there all of them or what?
it's like
What's
it's
this-
well yeah it's just
Most of them.
all of the ones with Nick Fury.
Nick Fury.
Yeah.
What?
Literally.
The
What does
movie.
that have to do with the story of that movie?
Except for
What's
Wakanda
funny?
Forever, but
What's funny is that they think that there are MCU fans who are waiting for Secret Invasion, who are so dedicated that they're going to go back and watch all 12 of these movies because they're so excited for Secret Invasion.
I saw the trailer and it was so boring. I was like, what are they
Yeah.
going to get out of this show? There's nothing here.
First
There's
off,
nobody here.
I don't think anyone's excited for Secret Invasion. And second off,
No.
the people that are,
I-
I don't think that they're fans of the 12 movies that you need to watch before Secret
No.
Invasion. Because if you like those movies, I don't know how you could possibly like anything that Marvel is currently making.
Yeah.
I can remember the hype with Captain Marvel coming out. Like, oh, we're gonna get Secret Invasion, and it like totally flopped. Like, it's too little, too late for Secret Invasion.
Yeah,
this
too
point.
late. Like too much. Like, why does it even matter? Like,
But
why
also
are they fighting anymore? Nothing.
They turned the Krill into the good guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How does Secret Invasion work if they're the good guys?
Yeah. They don't even care. Like,
Yeah,
they don't
no.
even care. They say, "Oh, let's mention the Krill." Oh, yeah, people are going to say, "Oh, it's from the comics."
They're
Oh,
literally
it's a different faction.
Mhm.
in Captain Marvel, they are framed as like the illegal immigrants, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
they're not gonna, they can't be the bad guys.
That's exactly why. Yeah, yeah, exactly why.
But
Whatever.
if you want to have the full Secret Invasion experience, you need to watch 12 MCU movies, or just watch those and don't watch Secret Invasion. That's a better take.
That's a way better say. Yeah, yeah, way
But
better
this
movies.
isn't nearly as unhinged as the next one. 8 ways MCU Phase 4 and 5 are already setting up Avengers 6.
Oh, oh no.
They're-
Secret Wars. Oh, Secret Wars, but that's like
the
next
MCU
year.
doesn't know what they're doing. They're not setting up anything. They're flying by the seat of their pants.
Yeah, and right now they have like two big enigmas because of the Khan situation or the Jonathan Mayer situation. And the situation now with Tenoch Huerta, which I'm making a video about tomorrow. You can watch the whole situation. What
Yeah, we'll
happened?
be lucky to see Avengers 5,
Mhm.
let alone
Yeah.
6. They have
We are,
no clue.
we would get lucky if they like. What are they going to fight? There's nothing. Are they going to fight?
Mexa, there's the multiverse. It's so interesting.
Oh,
But
come
it's been
on! Yeah,
established
it's
now.
so
Oh yeah.
tired.
And the variants are they're a big part of Secret Wars. Everyone really likes the variants.
Nobody
And
gives a
Kang
damn.
everyone loves Kang, and he definitely still has a job, I think. And then the Celestials.
He still has a.
You remember the Celestials that the one that started popping out of the earth, and we've
Yeah.
had 5 movies now, and no one's even mentioned it.
Yeah. Right.
I guess just clean giant bean coming out of the middle of the earth.
And it's not even brought
in
up like in
1
passing.
year. Yeah, in 1 year.
And Venom, because he came to the MCU, but he's gone now. He's not there anymore. It was brief in that one
Yeah.
scene in Venom.
And
But
Sony,
it's important
yeah,
for Secret
Sony,
Wars. And the Illuminati, they were introduced and then all killed. So
they were
that's important.
introduced
It's important
Right.
for Secret Wars.
in the worst way.
And the
Nobody,
mutants.
nobody cares about them. Yeah,
But we need mutants for the Secret Wars, even though
they can't.
we've owned the
Oh.
rights to the mutants for how long now?
I wish Hugh Jackman just
Since
walked off into the
2016.
sunset. No, I'm not doing
No,
another
no, no,
one.
never mind.
When did they
Since
buy Fox? And they
20
still haven't done anything with the
2019
X-Men?
because they were that's where they started to doing things with the X-Men. I mean, they started with the comics, but the first thing that they did was New Mutants, I think. And that was like the most Disney X-Men thing that I've seen. Well, that you cannot even call it X-Men anymore. They had to call them mutants, remember?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But Spider-Man No Way Home showed us that the multiverse is dangerous.
But it's not even MCU. And they don't even know what they're talking about.
No, they just say no. It's dangerous.
Exactly.
Why? Because it's dangerous. Because anyway,
Yeah.
this article is stupid, and Screen Rant should be ashamed of themselves.
And in theory, well, whatever. It's just a dumb, yeah, that's just a dumb article.
There's more. Obi-Wan Kenobi had Star Wars' best lightsaber fights to date, and here's how they work.
Oh yeah.
Stunning attention
Not
to detail,
impressed.
like the fact that it takes 6 lightsaber swipes to kill a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
And the fact that they took 6 cuts from the lightsaber, but it took just 1 bash in the head from a woman with the bare hand with the gun.
Yeah.
Remember when he bashes the gun and the guy is like, "Oh, I'm dead." My,
But it takes Obi-Wan Kenobi like one, bah, 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 bah,
Kenobi
bah.
is weak. Kenobi is weak as hell, bro.
Lightsabers don't work like lightsabers anymore. But it's because their fighting styles demonstrated their character arcs. Like
Thanks, Mark.
Riva's fighting style was complete garbage,
Yeah.
like her character.
I didn't
So-
even remember. It was so forgettable that nobody remembers what she did.
I mean, the original 3 movies had actual fencing experts, you know, doing the
And
fighting
even though,
and
and even
instructing.
though the lightsaber battles were not like, well, they got better for the for the second and third movie. The second movie specifically. The first movie was a little bit janky with the whole Obi-Wan, but he was an old man. He was an old man,
Yeah.
This is if this point were true, I would agree. Like, I've always said that they should use more force in lightsaber fights. Obi-Wan did it in that one scene,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the prequels did it
They did it
more.
way more.
Yeah.
Like
I
the second one-
agree. I agree that it needs to be done more. Like, if you've ever watched the old Republic cinematics,
Mhm.
the game is horrible, but the advertisements for the game, they're like
Yeah.
the fight scenes in those where they're using lightsabers and the Force are freaking amazing.
Not
And
only
I've
that,
always wanted to see
the
something like
cuts-
that in a movie.
Yeah, the cutscenes. Yeah,
But Obi-Wan didn't do it better. Also, the scene where they use the Force, they like put their lightsabers away.
Yeah,
And
Obi-Wan
then,
did it
and,
better.
then, and then they have a Force battle, and then they fight
Yeah.
like
Obi-Wan
You're-
did do it better, but in the prequels, not in this BS show. Yeah, in the prequels, he was throwing around rocks and doing and flying
Yeah.
around and jumping around. And Yoda was like crazy, like that guy was on crack or something because he was throwing and lifting and doing whatever. And
Yeah, there's that scene in Phantom Menace where they like walk into a room and there's a whole bunch of droids and he just goes and he just like pushes them off the cliff. You know,
Mhm.
it's great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I don't know how on earth you could actually have this opinion. You know, when Duel of the Fates exists, and
didn't
also
they just cancel the
Yeah.
Obi-Wan second season?
Even some of the sword fighting in the Clone
Oh.
Wars CV series.
oh
is
yeah,
better than
it's
this.
better than this.
Do the Clone Wars they look like good compared to those? They
Yeah.
look good.
Yeah, and I
Even
hate
the
Clone
CGI
Wars,
look
so.
good.
Anyway, Screen Rant's delusional. So here's another funny one. Awesome Bo-Katan cosplay brings Mandalore's rulers to life. Or brings Mandalore's ruler to life.
Mhm.
Didn't the Mandalorian bring Bo-Katan to life?
Yeah.
So the news article is someone dressed up like Bo-Katan. It would be
Now,
newsworthy.
if somebody showed up with a real jetpack and real armor and real blasters, then it would be brought
Real
to real
life.
life.
Yeah. At least the jetpack, I
How is this
the
news?
fiberglass.
How is this news? This is we looked at someone's Instagram, the news article. Oh, you want to know why it's news though?
Mm,
I already
Why?
read the article, so I know the secret.
Why?
Any guesses?
there's a black man in it.
more
Oh, black female.
Oh, that's it.
ginger, more ginger erasure, everybody.
I freaking got it. I knew it. I knew it.
Oh,
I mean, she has too much makeup. Never mind.
looks just
There's
like
so
her.
much makeup.
Yeah,
Makeup silly.
Is
she's
that-
probably way wider. Like,
Yeah,
I
it
love that-
doesn't. She looks
it
like
looks like
she's doing
blackface.
blackface.
yeah, exactly. Brown face.
It's
in
because
this
it's so
case, probably.
shiny. But I love that they
Yeah.
chose the shot of her sitting down, bringing the character to life. So yeah, that's it.
Not doing it. Oh no.
The Little
Wow.
Mermaid is bombing at the box office horribly because China and South Korea are racist.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
Twitter fixed this with their
Oh,
with their community notes saying, no, it's not because of racism. It's because the movie's bad.
That's
oh,
great.
to imply that the Little
Community
Mermaid
notes.
performance in Asia is due
Oh.
to race is nonsensical. That was such a great quote there.
Dude,
for
community
the
notes
community
have just been
are
killing it.
the
But yeah,
bomb.
Little Mermaid is bombing hard. It just barely crossed 400,000.
Guess
It
why?
needs to make 500,000 to break even. It's on. It's had a 60% drop
Yeah, imagine you
Two-
made such
two
a great movie.
consecutive weeks.
Mhm.
Week 2 was 60% drop, and week 3 was a 60 or 50% drop from
50,
week.
uh-huh.
Have y'all seen
48.
The Lighthouse?
The Lighthouse, not yet.
Yeah.
No.
I want to.
Well, there's a scene in it where the guy grabs a
I've seen the meme that you're
yeah
referencing.
yeah
The seagull, the scuttlebutt
yeah,
song,
right.
and
yeah.
just bashes the heck out of it.
yeah,
It's a good edit. It's a good edit.
yeah, I saw it on Twitter. Yeah.
But more on Disney. They since the merger with Fox, they decided to stop making what sounded like a really good movie about anti child trafficking, The Sound of Freedom. It's no longer being pursued. It was already
That's great.
mostly filmed, or maybe completely filmed.
Mhm.
So
I mean, they cannot praise against. I mean, they cannot complain about something that they love to.
it was picked up by Angel Studios, though.
Mm.
Good.
Now it's
it's
going to
not-
be
like,
way
it's-
edgier.
It's
Yeah.
done. All they needed to do was just release it.
Nice.
Good,
And
nice.
Nice.
Disney said,
No, thank
"Nah,
you.
nah. I bet we could make
Because
money from the Little Mermaid."
Yeah, right.
because it's the same with Call of Duty with banning the Nick Merckx skin. It's all the same. They all they say that they don't do it, but they protect people that do it. So, in my
Yeah,
opinion, yeah,
It
that's
looks
right.
why
good
they don't.
though.
It looks really good.
I
Sounds
definitely
What's the
want to watch
name?
really,
it.
yeah,
What's
sounds
the
really
name
good.
of it?
Sounds
Sound of Freedom. I forget
Sound of
the
Freedom.
Tim
it's going to
Ballard.
take a while, and I don't think they're going to release it like right now. It's going to probably be released like
July.
later in the year. Oh, Mir. Oh,
Yeah, Angel Studios. It's a streaming service where there was a huge lawsuit, but they started
oh.
by editing films. It was a streaming
Yeah,
service where you
yeah.
could rent a movie that was edited, and
Mhm.
they still do that, but you have to have they can only edit like shows that are on other streaming services now, and they're
Mhm.
not allowed to edit Disney movies because of the lawsuit.
Oh yeah, Disney. Yes,
There's a,
pretty
there's a
rough.
fascinating there's a fascinating interview. I watched the whole thing on the Babylon Bee with the owners of Angel Studios talking about that whole experience. It is a very very interesting watch.
Yeah.
It's like 3 hours too. It's good.
And Disney is probably dark with all those stuff. Like, remember when they were first coming with the allegations, and the Disney lawyer was like, "No, gaslighting the Jonathan Majors victim." She was like, "No, she's crazy. She's been mentally deranged for like a while," and something like that. Something really disgusting. You're like, okay, Disney lawyers are coming into the picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to the nerdporial life form who's here for Jacob.
Hey, Brian.
I still want to stream with you too. We just need to find something that we both like. I've still only watched 2 episodes of Picard because but I'll finish it because I already promised Mark Clark. I just didn't say how long I'd take. But yeah, we need a stream together, boy. He's a cool cat.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another bad take. A mindlessly mediocre action flop rebooted as an equally tedious TV show winds up as Netflix's #1 movie. The movie in question, Shooter, which is like a
What?
great movie.
I saw it this morning. I don't know why it
You
was
did?
trending. Yeah, I saw it this very same morning. And
Dude,
I
this
was thinking, I was
movie
about to tell you about it.
kicks.
I was literally going to, in the recommendation at the end of the show, I was literally going to say, tell you that I saw Shooter is so great.
I
I mean,
agree the TV
yeah,
show's bad. I didn't even bother watching it, but
obviously.
Yeah.
This
The-
movie is so awesome.
a
And
mindlessly mediocre action flop? Shooter?
Yeah.
mindlessly.
Sorry, I forgot Mark Clark's title. Sorry. I already promised Mark Clark, channel member, that I would finish. He rules with an iron fist. Really? Like, I just don't understand news these days.
Barely above passable today at best. What? Barely
I
above
think
passable.
I think it's just all part of the same. It's systematic in that they have to criticize movies that are good
Yeah.
just
Right.
to
But
justify
yeah.
what's coming out, right?
They hate on this
Right.
movie because it's about a guy that got done dirty
Is
by
he's
the
conservative?
government. Yeah, they got dirty by the government, and
Yeah.
he became a conservative. He got red pill. He started like some blogs about 9/11 and whatever. Um, and then he got like F by the government once again, and he almost dies, and he fights for survival.
It's a good
He's
movie.
a rough guy, yeah, yes. And
Yeah.
and the woman in that movie is incredibly beautiful. I hate that they destroy her career with Fantastic Four.
Kate Mara, right?
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, yeah, they
Oh,
destroy her career with
which she
Fantastic
could have
Four.
played a good Sue Storm.
She could
She
have.
was a good Sue Storm, but the movie was just horrible.
Yeah, the movie was terrible.
Jesus, that movie was that's abomination.
I never saw it. I
Was
never
so
watched
was as ugly as the
Bad
model
Force
that
Stick.
they did for Doctor Doom. Was so ugly. But
Yeah.
yeah, Great movie. Like I
Yeah.
said, I saw it this morning, and I've seen it a couple of times, and it's still a great watch.
No,
Always
I
worth watching.
know you dislike Picard, which is why it would be funny to talk about it because I haven't I have I made a commitment to watch it to a channel member who's been who keeps giving me money, so I want to do it. But it's not been. I didn't hate it. It just doesn't feel like Star Wars. It was well made. Sorry, it was well made, but it doesn't feel like Star Trek.
Patrick, I was like,
So I've been
what?
having trouble finishing it.
It doesn't feel like Star Wars.
I started. That's the thing. I started with season 3. I haven't watched seasons 1
I
and
was
2.
like, definitely, it definitely
don't do
doesn't
that.
feel like Star Wars.
Don't
Like,
don't torture
I
yourself with seasons 1 or
started
2.
with season 3, and I
Mhm.
haven't loved it, but I'll finish
Yeah.
it because I
But
promise.
they say it gets better by the minute.
Okay, a couple more bad
Yeah.
takes.
I don't think so.
Uh, you guys are welcome to fight about it in the comments if you want. But or we can all stream together when I finish. Okay. Okay. Speaking of Star Trek, this was a bad take. You cannot separate Star Trek from sex. You cannot separate Star Trek from queer sex. That alone should end the Star Trek versus Star Wars debate because we have a clear winner here, folks. Would you rather watch some incels flinging, I assume, flinging laser swords around, or get the pussy tingles?
Oh, wow.
What?
Come on now, from lesbian Sheldon Cooper.
I mean, Sheldon Cooper does look like a lesbian, but that that doesn't make any,
What?
that doesn't make any sense at all.
They don't show sex in Star Trek.
There
They
is a lot of
imply it.
there's a lot of implied sex and some
Yeah,
like explicit, like, oh, we clearly had sex, but it's not about the sex.
Yeah.
You know that it's happening.
Is there queer
I think-
sex? Like,
Not everything has to be about sex.
yeah.
I mean, you get a scene of like Picard like buckling up his boots after the deed, but that's the extent.
Yeah.
That's as juicy as it gets.
And that was like, with the crazy 70s and 80s,
And the people
Yeah,
just like, you
right.
are so correct. What does this even mean?
What the hell? And when was there queer say in Star
But
Trek?
You can entirely
New
separate Star
generation?
Trek from sex. It's hardly part of Star Trek.
Maybe
Yeah.
have you seen
Let
like, the
alone
stuff like
queer
new
sex.
generations and things like that? Maybe they do a lot of that thing in the new Star Trek,
Yeah, maybe.
because I haven't seen, for what I've seen in Star Trek, like you said, is that like implied, and in the beginning, prior to prior and after Rafal Khan is like, okay, they keep implying it, but they don't really show anything, like anything at all, and it's until Picard
I mean,
where it becomes like a little
DS9.
sexier.
Sorry, DS9 has a kiss between two women in it, but it's kind of an
Okay.
odd,
Inseparable.
thing.
Inseparable. Then Star Trek is now
Yeah,
inseparable from two women kissing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right.
It's like Buzz Lightyear almost.
Anyway, I thought that was the dumbest thing I'd read all week, and I
Yeah.
read a lot of dumb things.
Mhm.
Anyway, here's another bad take. Elliot Page is in the news,
No.
complaining because it hasn't gotten attention for in like a month, so started screaming again. Elliot Page says he got shingles filming Inception because he felt out of place in a cast full of cis men, including
Oh.
Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hardy.
Wasn't she
But-
a man?
I'm really,
Yeah, I thought you were a
I'm
man.
really
What's the big deal?
I'm really confused. I thought Elliot Page was a cis man.
Yeah.
Yeah. What gives?
Maybe he's
I-
talking about.
I don't get-
know. Never mind. I cannot say.
I don't understand. I'm legitimately confused.
I cannot say the name.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Makes sense, man.
What's the shingles like? That's herpes or what?
It's like a bad rash that you can get from stress
Yeah.
or other things. Yeah. Um, but apparently, acting
I thought it was like herpes.
Being an
it isn't.
actor
It doesn't make
amongst
sense.
it.
None of it makes sense. Like if you take her at the word, if you take it at face value, it doesn't make sense. But if
Hey,
you also think about it, it doesn't make sense. Because
Leonardo
DiCaprio
DiCaprio
wasn't
and
she
Tom
like
Hardy are have went on to other things. What has she done? She transitioned.
she was
She
in that
won an
she
Oscar
was
and
in that lesbian movie with Kate Mara before she transitioned.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
she was in that awful movie that for some reason was in the Oscars. You know, my God, that movie's unbearable. Um, Yeah, I don't understand. I was going to make a video about it because I think that the reason why there has been coming out a lot of news about it because she just published a book of memoirs, something like that,
Oh,
about her
that's
memoirs.
so
Yeah, that's the
she's
reason why.
trying to sell a
So
book.
she's writing and she's basically saying that she was an awful person during like that she was um confusing an actress so she could come out of the closets. A lot of weird things like that. Like almost borderline abusive behavior
But
that she
if
shows.
she was like genuinely struggling on set though, like wasn't it doesn't wasn't she experiencing, gender dysphoria and relate thinking, you know, identifying as a man, so why would this be stressful then?
Yeah, because she was not like she didn't identify with that. Did you see the same guy that was going to lock Kanye West up in a mental hospital was the same life coach or counselor from Elliot Page before he transitioned, like 1 week before he
She was hearing voices,
wanted
yes,
to,
and
yeah,
hitting
started
hitting
hearing
herself
voices
in the
and
face.
hearing herself at the wall. Yeah, that was like insane. Like, come on, that's not normal. Like, you can go to therapy and fix a little bit, but you're not gonna fix that in therapy. Like, you're fucked.
Well, I know there's certainly one way that's not going to make it any better, but can't say it on camera.
Yeah.
So anyway, one more bad take. A liberal woman got on TikTok to complain that it's really hard to find a man who's willing to play the more traditional masculine role in a relationship in today's age who is not a conservative. So
Yeah, because you are traditional, but you are not brain dead, so you're going to link more conservative. That's just a fact.
it's because conservatives value masculinity and liberals don't.
Yeah, and
That's,
another thing she
that's why.
said is like any like liberal would say I wouldn't then do anything of those things because you can do it yourself because you're an independent, strong woman.
Yeah, why
And
can't
yeah,
she be masculine?
no, if she's going to be a liberal, why can't you be? That's a hypocritical person. And why can't you be like
Why can't
straightforward
she
with
take on
people?
the masculine role?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. When you pay for the bills, you're a strong,
Yeah.
independent woman. You have a
Well,
nice
that's it.
car.
That's
You
it.
pay for a
The
bill.
thing that she's complaining about is that guys want to split the check on first dates.
Yeah,
That's
or that they
that's
don't
that's
want
the
to open
extent
the
of it.
door,
Terrible.
or literally it said, "I don't want to open the door for me. I don't want to pay for the first date, or don't pick me up, or what." It's like there are no gentlemen because you kill them. You kill them. People like you kill them.
Anyway, here's a meme. The wife who stared at phone during entire movie says plot made no sense.
Oh, I
Oh.
hated that. I that's so real.
Yeah.
Feels so real, so close to home. Like my ex, like I said, like she would just stay in her phone at her phone watching TikTok videos, all movie, and she would just say, "Oh, that was toxic masculinity," like with Alien. I mean, Predator. Remember that I mentioned that the last one.
That's why you broke up with her. Yes, he mentioned.
Yeah, basically because she was stupid as hell. She was brain dead because of TikTok. She was a smart person, but yeah, TikTok can do that to the brain of a human being. Yeah. I mean, bad TikTok, like TikTok that helps you improve your life. That's good TikTok, but bad TikTok.
All right, let's talk about Get the Gringo, baby.
Mm-hmm.
All
One of my
right.
favorite movies. If you liked this movie, you'll like watching Maverick. It's got less swearing and it's a western.
Yeah.
But it's I watched when I saw this, I was like, wait, this is just edgy Mexican Maverick. It
Yeah.
was like the same movie. It's
Yeah.
great.
This is the first time I saw it. It's good.
Oh, it's wonderful. I love just how authentic it is, and just how brutal the depiction of the jail is.
Yeah.
And
Yells are
but
scary in Mexico, like no kidding.
but also like Mel Gibson's character is great. His
Yeah.
it's almost like a detective movie, but he's not. Um, but he's investigating how to get out. You know, like he's constantly just the way he like his problem solving and his machinations in moving up through this jail and getting money it's so entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
And the way he acts is like he's like an anti-hero. He's
Yeah.
not like the
Oh, yeah.
typical oh hero, perfect hero. He's in it for himself and nobody else. He doesn't care about nobody else. Well, he starts caring about the kid and the mother because they're good people that show affection to him, so he wants to protect them because of that, and that's a pretty good message.
I have not seen Fat Man. That's the one where he's Santa Claus or something like that, right?
Yeah. I've seen that. That wasn't bad. It was okay.
Now that came out before the Jingle All the Bells, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other violent Santa Claus movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What,
It
what was
doesn't have
the
any
what was the newer
connection to
one?
that.
What was the newer one called? Silent
Yeah,
Night,
it had
Violent
the
Night.
Violent Night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen either of them.
Battle
But
Night is a fun ride.
yeah, I'll Get the Gringo is wonderful.
Yeah, it
yeah.
starts really good with the persecution and the practical effects. You see like the beauty of that shot when the car crosses through the border. That was almost poetic. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I noticed. I think it's like one of the only uses of CGI in the movie is the ramp.
Mhm.
It was obviously like a real ramp, and they covered it
Exactly.
with CGI dirt.
Rocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like most of the movies, it's all practical. It's
Yeah.
all
There's only two CGI moments where the explosion of the guy, because they probably thought that it was going to be way more expensive to be able to get away with that doing
well,
practical
yeah,
effects.
yeah.
So they
It's probably more expensive to blow up a guy in real life.
yeah,
So,
exactly. It's just like, okay,
Yeah.
just made it
Yeah.
particles in in Blender.
but it's great. Like
It's a good movie.
the bad guys are good and menacing, and like and the story is also just pretty unique.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's the setup. Like there's like it's almost like a political drama, and that like you have a whole bunch of moving chess pieces, like wanting different things, and he's just trying to get get in and get out.
Yeah, and I think this one should have been written by a Mexican person because of the way they speak. I become pretty good to identify Mexican dialogue.
Yeah,
So the dialogue, at least between the Mexican folks, that was made by Mexicans because they would just like "¿Qué onda, güey?" Those things of
yeah,
filler words, and Americans don't use that many amount of filler words that
Yeah.
a real Mexican would use. And the beginning, when after uh the car pursuit, when he gets to prison, is so damn realistic. Like, I haven't seen I've never been to a Mexican prison in real life, but you see the footage from real prisons. You know when they go and okay, Chapo ran out of prison, so they show the prison and they show how they live. And it's like it's just like that. The families, entire families,
Yeah.
live there, and if you are in prison, you and the tattoos and the hoes and the money making, the smack and the the drugs overall.
It's an
Um,
entire economy inside this
the
jail.
economy base that is it's always one leader, and he has lackeys, and the lackeys do everything, like the most disgusting things that you can think of, and the guy in the top keeps their hands clean. They're usually like really fat or like old, and they will just get drunk.
Yeah.
Like this guy
In a
in the movie
penthouse
gets drunk.
apartment.
Yeah, get drunk, smoke in the little apartment that they build inside the prison, and just get the hose and whatever that he does. Great depiction of what Mexico ghetto ghetto life it's without getting into the actual ghetto, because it's probably way more dangerous, because you go to a prison and you said, okay, we're going to shoot with Mel Gibson, and you show who Mel Gibson is. Most people in Mexico do know who Mel Gibson is because the Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, it's
Everyone in
huge,
Mexico saw the predator.
huge there.
They showed me the freaking Passion of the Christ when I was like 8 years old with this church, like with the Catholic Church, and I was like so traumatized by watching a guy get tortured by by like for 30 minutes. So insane. Yeah, I got traumatized by that as well. Um, After that, I began to love in that movie because just so ridiculous the way they treat Jesus and how Jesus just manages to forgive all of them. I'm just saying, like, come on, man. But he had to do it, he had to do it. Um, yeah,
It's a true story, right?
yeah,
Oh,
obviously.
okay.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, no, the true story is not the reactions. I mean, the reactions and the
It's
little
based on a
pieces.
true story.
Yeah,
There's
obviously.
there's
Yeah, obviously, but it's so funny, like
Yeah. I
the
was.
exaggeration. Like he just takes it to another level. I mean, it probably was like that, but it's not like that. It's too much. It's too much, and the thing with
Yeah.
the Jews, yeah, it was.
I just looked
Yeah.
up the director of Get the Gringo, and he did Man on Fire and
Oh yeah.
Apocalypto.
Mm.
Good stuff.
Oh, oh, so he knows Mexico. Yeah, he knows
Yeah,
Mexico. Yeah,
and he
he did
knows Mel Gibson
Apocalipto.
too.
If he did
Yeah,
Apocalipto, he went to the freaking jungle. Like that's real
Rambo
Mexico. Like
Last Blood too.
Mexico, yeah.
he was the assistant director on Apocalypto because Mel
Yeah,
Gibson was directing that one.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, but he probably did a lot of the things that Mel Gibson didn't want to do. Although Mel
that was a
Gibson looks
rough
like a
movie.
crazy man. Like, Mel Gibson looks like a crazy man that will get into the dirt. Like he will swim in like hippopotamus, you know, river with full of hippopotamus just to get a shot. Um, he's great. I'm waiting for the movie that he's going to get out. You heard right that he's going to produce a documentary of the guy, the bad guy that I cannot mention because you're gonna get him on. Um,
Yeah, I heard it.
yeah, the guy. I hope he doesn't get. I cannot say the last name probably as well because you don't want to get shadow banned. So you don't want to get them. Yeah, the special, the old special, the old
Uh,
family.
Apparently, he's also doing a sequel to The Passion. I don't know if
Mm.
that's ever happening. It's the
Hmm,
resurrection.
Oh,
interesting.
I
The
love that
Passion,
gag. That's one of my
Passion
favorite.
2, Passion
That's
Harder.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite gags from Family Guy of all time. The Passion of the Christ too, with John Caviezel and Chris Tucker. I love that. Oh my god. Yeah,
Yeah,
but the
I
Gringo,
like
what
when
are
he
those? Go ahead, go ahead.
when he gets to the prison and he's like, "Is this a prison or the world's uh, poopiest mall?"
Yeah, the worst mall of probably yes because they do sell things. They do sell merchandise and things like that.
Yeah,
They even have like I said, they have the family day was like I've seen that thing so many times in news stories in Mexico and news channels. They show like, oh, the mothers that have their kids in prison, and they show like a whole freaking kindergarten inside the damn prison,
Yeah,
Mhm.
and with
and the
toy
kid, the
with
kids,
yeah with
the kids can go out to go to school, and
exactly, and
it's
just come back.
crazy.
Uh-huh. And they,
The
not only that, the prisoners, like if you're in a high, prison, you're like, okay, the prison, and they build houses outside those prisons, right in front of them, and then they illegally they let them leave to go to their houses with their wives, spend whatever day they want. But they have to return every day, every evening. That's for sure. Yeah.
the
Wow.
the
I
kid
do,
though
one.
was
I do
great.
have
Great
one
actor.
thing
Yeah.
about this. If there's a white guy in a Mexican prison, he's not going to go unnoticed.
No,
He is
no.
gonna get ass booty
Yeah,
blasted every single day. He's going to be the honey, the bunny, like the white bunny in that. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
disgusting. Like you die, you die. Yeah. Have you seen
Mm.
like the movie Blood In, Blood Out? Blood In,
no,
Blood Out. What's the movie? What's the name of the movie? The Cholo movie where there's a white guy that acts like a Cholo and he thinks that he's a Cholo.
I don't know, but from what you were just describing, it doesn't sound like a great movie.
Blood In, Blood Out. No, it's not
Well,
a
you're
great
talking
movie.
about butt blasting and a movie called Blood In, Blood Out.
It's not a great movie, obviously, but it's
yeah,
it's it's such a funny cholo movie. If you see that movie, you're gonna have a laughing stock about the cholo culture because it's so exaggerated, but it's something around
Hmm.
those lines. Um, but yeah, that movie was what would happen to a white guy if they went to a Mexican prison, Mexican inhabited prison. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
but they are better than the Salvadorian prisons at least. At least, yeah, 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 yeah. Those Salvadorian prisons are insane. There are so many shows about the MS-13
Mm.
that if you're Mexican, you usually watch because you are scared of the MS-13 like crazy.
yeah,
Mara Salvatrucha. That's MS means Mara Salvatrucha. MS. Um. So and the 13 is the street because they come from street. So
yeah,
in the place I live is called Tapachula. That's where the streets come from. So actually in Tapachula there was the MS-13. They came straight from Salvador, and there was the MS-18, which was from they came from Mexico, from that little town. So they fought all the time, the MS-13 and the MS-18. It was a crazy time in my place, but yeah, I've dealt with the MS-13. I know what they're capable of. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, but it, yeah, I don't know. It's way more right now. Is the prison is more like that because there are not that well, no, nowadays it's not like that anymore. Nowadays it's not like that anymore. It's probably way more dangerous because of all the immigration that happen, because if you just Mexicans they do not harm each other. Like it's really hard, unless you are from a rival narco whatever, you will not go ahead and just murder a bunch of innocent people, Mexican innocent people. It's not like in our blood. Like, I mean, you're going to scam a lot of people probably. Yeah, we love scamming our own people, but yeah, like simio no mata simio is a meme, a pretty used meme here in Mexico. So monkey doesn't kill monkey. That's literally what we call each other here in Mexico.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, that was such a realistic the Mexican actors are also well known in Mexico, and they are also really great, and that's the way they act usually. They usually act like the boss man from a criminal organization. That fat guy is hilarious. That fat guy in Mexico, he's the funniest actor in Mexico, I think. Like he's like
really,
yeah, he's like a Chris Farley, the Mexican Chris Farley.
huh, really,
But like a dad. He acts like always. He acts acting always like a dad, but like the funny, quirky dad. That he's like no, 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 like exaggerating and always. I don't know. hyperbole and all those things. He's great at this kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't remember this. I don't know. He's been in so many things. Like he has like more than 200 or more than 100 telenovelas. That guy, like for real. He's a legend in Mexico. Um, and yeah.
I thought the kid did a really good job too.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
the
was a
kid
good
was
actor.
great. He's obviously American, but his both his English and his Spanish are
Yeah,
amazing.
his name is Kevin Baltimore.
Ah,
Kevin Baltimore. Wow.
yeah, let's just say that he's
But
American.
his acting and his chemistry with Mel
With
Gibson,
Mel Gibson was great. Like
it's
every
so
time he
good.
was every time he said like give me a cigarette, I was like, come on man, just
No.
give him a damn cigarette. I was screaming at the screen like give him a damn cigarette, man. But then I was like, oh never mind. He's like 10 years old. I was like, no, never mind. And he actually smokes, but they give them empty cigarettes with that tobacco like
Yeah.
paper. So
Mhm.
it makes the thing about the smoking. The mom was like, average Mexican woman, rough on the inside, rough on the outside, sweet and loving in the inside, warm
Mhm.
overall. Like, it's the kind of girl that will, if you see that you don't have a beard, she will get you a Corona right from the fridge. If you don't have beer, she's going to go and buy you some beers. Um, but yeah, I liked also the chemistry with the girl. She didn't have to be like the sex symbol of the year to be a romantic interest for a guy. It was way more realistic. You see an old guy, you're not gonna have like Clint Eastwood having
Yeah,
threesomes with two incredibly hot girls that
yeah.
he's
I
90
like
years
that they
old.
were age appropriate. Yes.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
was everything was coherent. Like nothing. The scenes with the guys going to the is we call them puteros here in Mexico. The whorehouses. Um, so realistic. Like it's literally what you see in those places, and more in a place like that. It would look like Tijuana, but off-brand Tijuana, like third world Tijuana.
Yeah.
Um, No, Ciudad Juarez was never mind. It was Ciudad Juarez, and the fact with the wrestling, that's how it works in Mexico. Like you get a couple of wrestlers into a high, um, like a great prison, and they go there, and they will have a blast. Like, and people will go there, will pay entrance, and that's how they make money in those prisons. Obviously, yeah, the Blue Demon guy, he's like Blue Demon Junior. He's the son of the biggest wrestler in Mexico. Well, one of the second biggest. The first is El Santo, and the second was Blue Demon, and they were like a team, like tag team, like Santo versus Blue Demon. There's a lot of movies like Santo and Blue Demon versus Mommy. So this wacky stuff. Like, there's a lot of that in that movie too, with the wacky culture that Mexico sometimes shows.
Mhm.
Yeah, the fairy games, the carnival games that were in the middle of the prison with kids playing the
Yeah.
carnival game was so insane. I was like, yeah, it does happen. It will happen. They will get like a wheel of fortune. I kid you not, like wheel of fortune. Obviously, kid size, for kids, but in a small wheel of fortune. But you will see, you will see things like that. Yeah, so accurate. And it's like you said, Tech Mex. That was the most accurate of them all. Yeah, at least reality.
The
Yeah.
other thing I love about this movie is the name Reginald T. Barnes,
Yeah. Original
um,
T-Bar.
which I use all the time because it's great.
Yeah, and the way they
And
like goes
just
twist.
the framing of the movie too, just like how it ends and him
Mhm.
fantasizing about someone killing the guy
Yeah.
that his wife cheated on him with, and
Mhm.
then setting him
Yeah,
up
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
using
He says his
his
name.
name
Yeah,
and just him just like
that
no,
was
it's
so good. That was so good because
I just
he
imagined
was
her
switch.
screaming, and dropping the coffee and uh,
Yeah.
It was like a mood switch
those two
right there,
guys
right?
that he kind of tricked to get in that office. I thought he was like going to pull out a silenced gun or something, but he just throws 2 hand grenades at him.
Yeah, it was like F you guys, and I cannot believe that the other guy survived, but that's for
Yeah,
it
yeah.
needed to happen for the sake of the plot. Um, yeah, like I said, it took like a greedier turn when he gets out of prison and he's like, I'm going to take revenge or whatever. I'm going to take care of it, and he's just like doing all this stuff, the black woman. Oh, you didn't promise from talking like a New Orleans girl, like southern girl.
while
So
he's
funny.
doing his
That scene is just really funny as well.
Clint
And
Eastwood
yeah, and the
impersonation.
screen
Yeah,
Eastwood,
the Clint Eastwood, that was great.
Clint Eastwood, my God, yeah.
It was a good
And
impersonation too.
Yeah,
that
it
was
was.
really good. He's a great actor, Mel Gibson. Hope to see him way more.
Watch
Yeah, as a
Conspiracy.
director oh
Watch
yeah, yeah.
Conspiracy Theory.
I
Conspiracy
need
Theory
to.
is
Yeah,
my
that's a
favorite
great
Mel
one.
Gibson
That's a
movie.
good one.
Yeah, it's just that
Well, aside from Maverick, but
I am fearful that I'm going to like go completely nut job, like become a complete nut job.
it's just a good story. It's not. It doesn't focus on the conspiracies. It's
Hmm.
good.
Yeah.
Never mind. I became a nut job after I saw Sniper, and I was like, no, shooter, and I was like, holy moly.
Yeah, he's got some good classics like Payback and Ransom.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
I love conspiracy.
Lethal Weapon, the first one.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, Little Weapon. That's where I know this guy. Little Weapon was
Yeah.
like big thing. Also in
He,
Mexico, like Little Weapon is bigger than Die Hard for some reason.
he,
Really.
pl-
Yeah,
he
yeah.
played.
Little Weapon, like everyone knows Little Weapon. I guess because of the Spanish dub. Apparently, it's really good, and yeah, people more know more about um Die Hard 4 than Die Hard 1.
Hmm.
Yeah, pretty weird world we're living in there in Mexico.
Yeah, that's weird.
Really backwards. Yeah, we know more about Die Hard 4, 5, and 6, but we haven't seen the first one or the second one. Yeah.
Um, he plays a relative of mine in Braveheart.
Mm.
Not a
William Wallace.
William Wallace. Yeah, I'm
Mm.
not a direct descendant because of uh, what happens in the movie and real life, but I believe direct descendant of his brother
Mm.
Huh. That's
or
cool.
or uncle. I can't remember which one.
I just saw the Die Hard movie this Christmas, and again, I saw it with the wrong person, so I didn't enjoy it that much. I'm going to watch it by myself, and I'm going to enjoy it. That way, probably better.
Braveheart.
Braveheart's another great movie. Yeah.
The Patriot. I just rewatched that one. That one slaps.
Yeah.
If I was American, I would watch The Patriot every 4th of July. And
It's a-
born
A lot of
and
people
born
do.
in a 4th of like born in 4th of July in The Patriot. Like, I what other movie do you want to watch? No.
the scene with the hatchet just like
The
gets to me.
tomahawk.
Every
The
tomahawk,
tomahawk.
the tomahawk where he just goes nuts and his kids are watching and you're like,
Yeah. It's like,
You're
whoa.
like, holy moly, yeah.
oh gosh, like don't touch my kids.
Leave these kids alone. Yeah.
But it's also like, it's an embellishment, but I loved that they chose for his character that like someone who's hesitant to go to war against Britain, because
Yeah.
like that's a huge like portion of the population that's kind of underrepresented underrepresented in these types of movies or literature, and like a lot of people were like really didn't want to
Yeah,
start a
they want
fight.
to
Yeah.
war with the insane giant that was Great Britain back then.
And so
Um,
it's wonderfully framed how he gets involved, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good.
that same thing happened in Mexico as well. You know, people didn't want the revolution, didn't want the
Mhm.
independence. They were comfortable.
Yeah.
But you had to be a patriot.
Mark Clark has never seen Die Hard.
What?
Yeah, that needs to change. Watch the
That's
first
not
one.
that rare
Put it on
here.
your list. Put it on the top of your list, Mark.
You gotta at least watch the first and the third one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
but don't
rest are
oversell. It's just that don't oversell them because when people oversell them, it's like
the rest are completely optional, and
yeah.
five you is best to not watched.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the second one and the fourth one. They are decent movies, entertaining. I don't
The
know.
third,
I have a, a an issue with the girl. What's Elizabeth? Yeah, she's like my weakness sometimes, and
The girl in the fourth one.
yeah, and she's Ahsoka. I know she's not Ahsoka, but she's like the green girl. I don't know the green hornet or whatever. The green alien, Elizabeth Wells, something like that.
I don't remember
Yeah.
who was in the Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, she has a movie like a solo action movie, and that looks good. Like it looks like one of those typical
Kate.
strong female character, but she acts like a regular human being, so she gets like destroyed, completely destroyed, and she acts pain, and she's not immortal. Like
Mhm.
Galadriel.
Yeah, I liked her in 10 Cloverfield Lane, and of course Scott Pilgrim, but I haven't watched a
Did
lot.
you see
And
that Will Smith movie she was in? It's like there's a clone of him and he's like an assassin or something.
Oh, the
the Scorpio Man or something like that. Gemini's Man.
Gemini Man.
Yeah, that guy.
I,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never watched that one.
That was pretty
I
I
mean,
good.
didn't know she was in it.
I
for real.
I liked it. It was pretty good.
If she's on it, I'm trying to going to watch it. Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah,
But the
she's
best
a
movie
Gemini Man.
she's in is Superhero School, or I don't know what's the name of the
Oh
Disney
Sky
movie.
yeah,
High.
the
Sky
Sky
High.
High.
That
Yeah.
movie is so cool. Was so cool when I was a kid. I was and now more with that movie. That was my first like DVD that was so burned out that even the box was like the box was so
Sky
cool.
High is legitimately a great movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hero assistant.
That was
Like
back when Disney was still making films.
bangers,
Yeah.
complete another bangers. That was the season of the bangers, like the cool movies. Like those movies were watched by the cool kids. Yeah,
They did try a little too hard with the other female character whose power was growing trees.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
really
They tried a
weird.
little bit too hard to make that a cool thing.
Yeah,
But
and she was like, "Oh, like," and they were like, "Oh, so cool, so cool." And she's like,
yeah, it was
yeah,
funny.
"Fun movie." Uh huh.
Well, this has been a lot of fun, guys.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, I
glad.
wanted to recommend something
Yeah,
after before we go, but
you wanted to recommend
you
Shooter.
really no, shooter. No, shooter. No, shooter. We already talked about it. Great movie, but no. This is really something you have to watch.
Yeah,
100%. It's called Bloodhounds. It's in Netflix. It's a Korean show, like a Korean soap opera, but it's like police. No, it's not even police. It's about two boxers that they bond. They are friends that bond over boxing, and they have to deal with a lot of the problems with the pandemic that we all suffer. So they really go at it with the pandemic stuff, and they really show that the struggle. And it's really interesting because not many shows dare to go there. Like many people try to ignore in the shows like that we went through a pandemic, but they are the whole narrative runs around the whole thing with the pandemics and the loans that people were getting um everywhere, the loans and how they were taking advantage of people. And yeah, they hold these, with loan sharks and how dangerous they are. But there's two boxers, and these guys fight. That these guys can fight. Uh, my God, just watch the first episode. You don't have to watch any of the other ones. Just watch the first episode and the first 5 minutes of the second one. You're going
Okay.
to like it's going to take your breath away. Like I haven't seen action like this in a while. Like it almost felt like Tom Cruise. Like
Korea's been making some really interesting stuff.
yeah, and the
There's a
writing. Oof, oof, oof,
yeah.
oof, oof.
There's another show that I've seen that I'm gonna start watching. It's called Sanctuary. It's about sumo wrestlers. It's a
Mm,
TV series about sumo wrestlers. It kind of looks good.
but watch Bloodhound if you have like
Yeah.
a spare 50 minutes tonight or tomorrow or whatever day. Just watch Bloodhounds. It's on
Okay.
Netflix. It's trending, Korean. Um, I hope it's Korean. I hope I'm not just saying it's Korean. It's Japanese. That'd be hilarious. That'd be freaking funny.
No, it's Korean.
Um,
It's Korean.
it's Korean. Yeah, they mentioned Korean barbecue. Um, so yeah. Watch literally first episode and the first 10 minutes of the episode, and you're going to be completely hooked. Like you don't need to watch anything else.
Cool.
Yeah, about the show. Yeah, it's such a great show. I've been enjoying my time. Yep. Hmm.
Yeah, that looks interesting. I still haven't seen the second. I haven't seen the raid part 2. So
Oh yeah.
I haven't
the
seen
first
any
one.
of those.
you gotta watch the raid if you want like just fantastic action
I
nonstop.
cannot,
It's the
I
raid.
cannot find it in
Cool.
Mexico though. The first one, the second one, yes, but the first one is hard to find. Mhm.
Yeah, it's pretty well done. I have not seen the second one yet, but
Yeah, but I've seen the scenes. The fight scenes of the second one is insane. What they managed to do. I love martial arts movies. That's why I noticed that these
And
guys
they
can
just
fight.
go for some of that stuff too. Some of
Oh,
the
yeah.
stunts and stuff.
yeah, they hit each other in Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Like you can tell when they are fighting extras and they really hit the extras like hard, or stuntmen. And they are when they fight between each other, the two main actors are like, okay, they clearly pulling their punches. They
Yeah.
are even hitting with the left hook, which is not like their strongest. But such a great show. I don't know, just watch it.
Mark Clark's got a recommendation for a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Let Her Rip. What is it? Yojimbo. I've heard of that one.
Yojimbo. Yeah, I've heard of
Oh
that.
yeah. I heard of it, but I never seen it because of the old aesthetic. But I'm going to watch it definitely.
That's like that samurai one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the old Kurosawa movies.
Yeah, there's
They're really fun.
the blind swordsman.
That is good.
Oh, that's hilarious! That movie is so
Yeah,
good.
those are good. But there's a whole series of them, and there was like a newer one that they made, but there's a whole older black and white series of those.
Yeah, the black and white is the one that I watch. They haven't seen the new one. So funny. I mean, well, not only funny but well made. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's funny because sometimes it's unintentionally funny because of the cultural difference, and that they are showing off like really going down, but you're like, okay, this is just hilarious. The poses and the sounds that they make, like, oh, and you oh,
oh,
oh, yo.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I love Asia. I love Asia, bro. Mm-hmm.
Well, this has been super fun.
It's
Yeah.
been.
It's been a blast having Jacob. I think we're just about done.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about
Yeah.
everything. Got some good suggestions.
Yeah, watch Bloodhound.
Bloodhound. I've got pulled up. So look, see, adding
Cool.
to my list.
Nice. All right, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. You're always welcome
Have a-
back.
Have a great
Yeah.
week, guys.
Yeah, y'all too.
We're
good
talking
one.
about something that's interesting. Just hit me up.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Let me know what we're talking. Tomorrow. Matt Johnson, right?
Johnson.
Not Johnson. I'm going to remember that so I can look for it. That's why I put it in my list.
The Dirties Operation Avalanche, free on YouTube right now.
Yeah, I'm going to watch
The
it.
Dirties is on Amazon. BlackBerry you can rent like anywhere.
Cool.
Such a fascinating filmmator, and I wish you could watch his TV show outside of Canada.
Yeah, it's hard to manage.
But just a fascinating person. Anyway, this has been super fun. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us in the audience. Mark Clark and Nerd Pro Life Forum. Got some fun faces. Thanks for the super chats.
Good night.
I love doing this. I love talking to you guys.
Have a rest.
We'll see you guys next week. Unless you guys have anything else to plug.
Oh, I bought a empanada of tinga just to make sure that I was not crazy. Yeah. And yeah, I'm not crazy. Tinga goes with pollo, with chicken.
Yeah, I've got a stream Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
Notorious. It's at Hitchcock.
Nice.
I haven't seen that one. I've seen a lot of Hitchcock, not that one.
It's a good one.
All right, Tuesday night, Hitchcock with Jacob Ironside.
Yeah. And check out the video tomorrow if you can. Yeah, tomorrow's coming out.
Okay.
Midday.
All right, we're gonna end it there. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a blast.
Yep.
We'll see you in a week, or in 2 days if you're watching Jacob's video, or in tomorrow if you're watching the other video. Bye.
Bye.
Night.
And now it is time to say goodbye.
We had a great conversation.
It's been fun. But all good things must come to an end, and the goodest ending I can think of is
right now, this moment, this night.
So I guess we just say goodbye.
So, goodbye.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day. But come back next week for more outrageous bloopers.
this is the end.
Well, there's only one thing left to do.
I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.